All heavens sign in from Naruto, Chapter 301 to 320. Chapter 301 _ Crocodile God Guardian. After the night wind flew into the air, out of Thornton's attack range. Then, Thornton walked around like a brain-dead NPC. Silly. Well, it's almost time for a character test. Nightwind shrugged. The golden wheel reincarnated suddenly. Even though Jinlin's students couldn't blast Thornton's skin defense, but he could rub Thornton on the ground. This is equivalent to, although blunt objects cannot cut through human skin, but it can still kill humans. After 5 minutes, Thornton was finally stabbed by Yi Feng. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully defeating the opponent and obtaining a random drop reward. Crocodile God guards the Grandmaster. Guardian of the Crocodile, a passive skill that can greatly enhance the body's defense. After Yi Feng read the skill description, satisfied nodded. Thornton's skin is tough due to an animal genetic trait in him. But if Yi Feng really fuses Thornton's genes, maybe he will become a monster too. Fortunately, this system is super powerful. It turned Thornton's defensive gene characteristics into a passive skill. After Yi Feng has the protection of the Crocodile God, coupled with the terrifying chakra in his dantian, even the full power of the Heavenly Blade Judgment would not be able to break Yi Feng's defense. Subsequently, Yi Feng started the second game. This time, Yi Feng didn't use his flying ability to show Thornton, but deliberately tried a bare-handed knife. As expected, after possessing the skills of the Crocodile Guardian, Thornton's double axe could not break Yi Feng's defense. Only the Grandmaster level can block Thornton's axe. Isn't the defense of Morgana's 4th generation divine body too weak? Yi Feng shook his head. Thornton's axe can sever Morgana's divine body. But this does not mean that Yi Feng's defense has surpassed that of the 4th generation of gods in the super god world. Because different versions of the 4 generations of gods have different characteristics. Morgana, in order to make it easier for her body to pass through the micro-wormhole, so she gave up some of the defensive capabilities of the divine body and strengthened the time and space capabilities of the divine body. Next, Yi Feng flew into the sky again, and showed Thornton in the same way. But this time Yi Feng didn't reveal anything useful. Come again. That's it. Yi Feng took the trouble to brush the whole night. But, except for the Crocodile Guardian at the beginning, what was brushed behind Yi Feng was some kind of crocodile tenderloin, crocodile elbow, crocodile waist, and pure crocodile skin. Explained by the system. When challenging projection mirroring, the first drop rate is the king level drop rate by default. So the probability of brushing the best is higher. But from the second time, the probability is the normal probability. To this, Yi Feng also felt quite speechless. It seems that this system is very likely to be reincarnated as a penguin in a previous life. In terms of probability, it is very hard to grasp. Otherwise, will the so-called normal drop rate be so pitted? The next day, Yi Feng came to the training center listlessly as usual. At this time, the army of soldiers has already completed the assembly, waiting for Yi Feng to speak. Master Feng, why are you so listless and hollowed out by the game again? Xin Zhao said with a grin. Did the angel girl come and go back yesterday, and then you guys came to a game that we'll talk about later? Zhe Xiaolun laughed heartlessly, already fully used to the uncomfortable feeling on his head. Don't make trouble, I saw with my own eyes that it was So Tone who entered Lord Feng's room last night, do you all understand? Lu Chuang said thoughtfully, rubbing his chin. Everyone who understands understands. Cheng Yaoan made the final conclusion. Yi Feng looked at the favorability levels on their 4 avatars. Listen to what they have to say. He suddenly had a feeling of beeping a dog. Am I just a little more handsome? Do you have to be so jealous of me? Is this interesting? Because Thornton just came today, so today's training content will be changed. Yifeng looked at the four bastards in the grass with cold eyes and said, "You four, fight with Thornton today, and the loser won't have lunch." Ah! Thornton's eyes widened as soon as he heard that he lost and had no food to eat. He looked at the four bastards in the grass and said, "You four, don't blame me for being so rude." Then, a beating was immediately arranged in the past. That's it. The life of the Shangbing Company is still proceeding in an orderly manner. The girl's favorability is also gradually improving. Except for Lena. Don't know why. Reina's favorability to Yifeng has always been maintained at the level of 79 points. Neither up nor down. It's like being locked. But Yifeng was also in a hurry. Anyway, the plugin has been opened, and it will definitely be super god in the future. As for the four bastards in the grass, their favorability is very unstable. In general, as long as you are beaten lightly, your score may increase a little, but it will be limited. And at the same time, Angel Yan has successfully returned to the Angel Nebula. The Angel Nebula is full of bizarre colors. Full of mystery. At the heart of the Angel Nebula, a planet exuding pure white and holy light floats up and down in the sea of stars. The architecture here is magnificent. In the middle of a castle, Geisha sat lazily on the throne of angels, listening to Angel Yan reporting the information she brought back from the earth. That is to say, that little guy called Yifeng has supernatural powers even though his genes are very ordinary. Geisha asked casually, resting his chin in his right hand. Yes, Queen, Yifeng's power is very strange, and Jishin and I can't analyze it. Angel Yan hesitated for a while, then added, he said that his power came from self-cultivation. Angel Juxin is only 500 years old. But she is a disciple of the Tianji King Hexi. Her scientific research ability is a very top-notch existence among many angels. So, if even Jishin couldn't analyze the energy in Yifeng's body, Angel Yan actually believed Yifeng's theory of self-cultivation. Cultivation. At this time, an angel girl with a golden ponytail stood up from the queue. She looked at Yan with contempt. Yan, although you are not as old as me, you are 7,000 years old, right? You would believe such a ridiculous claim of self-cultivation. The angel smiled disdainfully. Although there are many mysteries in the universe that even angels cannot explain. But, if you can become a god through cultivation, such a great civilization has already appeared in the universe. But what? All large-scale civilizations in the entire universe follow the technological route. Cultivation. It's just a story made up in some civilization. To be honest, it's just because they don't have enough IQs and can't learn those high-end technologies, that's why they crook things like comprehension. This is Angel Leng's view of cultivation. Of course. May change in the future. Chapter 302_4 Generations of Gods. He said the truth about cultivation. If you don't believe it, why don't you go to Earth and find him in person to find out what's going on? Angel Yan smiled faintly. She obviously didn't take the angel's cold sarcasm to heart. To be honest, Angel Yan is the left-wing guard of Queen Geisha. Why bother with an angel to care about something? The conflict between Leng and Yan. Geisha is also well aware. Angel Leng is the disciple of Angel Ronning. And Angel Ronning was the previous holy left wing. In order to support Angel Yan's ascendance, Geisha abolished the status of Angel Ruanning's wing guard, causing Ronning to leave the Merlot Heavenly Court, which made Angel Leng full of hostility towards Yan all the time. If you elaborate. Geisha's decision back then was unfair to Ronning. Geisha's side for a long time can be regarded as the elders of angels. At that time, Geisha was not even the king of heavenly blades. But today's Geisha doesn't care much about these human accidents. What she believes more is data. The data calculated by the treasure house of sacred knowledge. Angel Yan is the hope of angels' future. Okay, stop arguing, both of you. Geisha waved his hand and said in a gloomy tone, "Cultivation doesn't necessarily exist. After all, the universe has existed for 13.7 billion years, and our angels only have a history of 10 eternals. However, those so-called self-cultivation are nothing more than some kind of special gene, with special energy arrangement, nothing to be surprising, and the efficiency is far less than that of technology. Like most angels think. If you truly cultivate, you can become a god. It is known that cultivation civilization has already appeared in the universe. And Geisha's treasure trove of sacred knowledge has also not counted any hints that the angels need to pay attention to. So, Geisha didn't care much about that. There are only two things she cares about most now. One is whether the justice of the angels is absolutely correct. The second is where did her dear sister escape to? Lang, have you gone out to find Morgana's whereabouts this time? Geisha asked. For 2,000 years. Geisha has been letting her angels look for the whereabouts of demons everywhere. They have placed angel eyes in many places in the known universe. But Morgana's demon army is good at time and space transfer. Even if the angel found a little whereabouts, demons can also quickly escape the tracking of angels. Reporting to Queen Geisha, I didn't find Morgana's whereabouts, maybe she's already dead. The angel shrugged coldly. They have not found the whereabouts of the devil for hundreds of years. This time span is much longer than before. So, many angels believe that the Devil Queen may have fallen into the universe. After all, the universe is full of crises. Even if God is not careful, it is easy to fall into the doomsday. I don't think so. Angel Yan shook his head and said, I suspect that Morgana has been upgraded to the 4th generation divine body. If she has the 4th generation divine body as support, it can indeed block the angel's capture of the devil's movements. Che, I said Yan, didn't I just say something to you because of that earthling? Do you need to contradict me like this? Angel pinched his waist coldly, looked at Angel Yan proudly and said, the 4th generation divine body is the top divine body technology in the known universe. Can you count how many resources you need to upgrade from the 3rd generation to the 4th generation? Morgana had been seriously injured by Queen Geisha last time, and it would be difficult to recover from her injuries, let alone upgrade her divine body. The 4th generation of gods is the most powerful physique in the universe at present. But the 4th generation of gods is not a genetic upgrade. It's just a physical upgrade. In other words, the genes of the 4th generation gods are still the 3rd generation gene technology, but their 3rd generation gods have been upgraded by one level again. And the technology of the 4 generations of gods in different civilizations is also not the same. For example, Karl's 4th generation divine body is a phantom body, immune to all physical damage. Geisha's 4th generation divine body is a sacred body, and even if the divine body is decomposed into atoms, it can automatically assemble. And Morgana's 4 generations of gods belong to the more common kind. But anyway, the divine body is the divine body. If you want to upgrade the divine body, you need to consume a lot of resources to support it. Especially dark energy and stellar energy. In order to mine dark energy and stellar energy, a stable resource base must be established. In this way, the energy in the nebula can be effectively harvested. But demons are now like lost dogs. How could it be possible to create a resource base in the universe? Their hometown of Kunsa is deserted. Morgana may not have enough resources, but it doesn't mean that other civilizations don't. Maybe there are civilizations that support demons in the known universe. Angel Yan frowned. In the end, a Morgana with 4 generations of gods is not scary. In Angel Yan's heart, as long as Queen Geisha takes action, even if Morgana is a 4th generation god, it will be useless. But what worries her is that other civilizations have begun to join forces with demons. If so, the pattern of the universe will become complex again. Support the devil. Whoever dares to support the devil angel will destroy her. My angel is cold and willing to take the lead. The angel raised her lips coldly. Fighting for the queen is her life's wish. Well, what you said makes sense, but until you can't find data to support, these discussions are meaningless. Geisha shook his head. The possibility was something she hadn't considered for many years. She only trusts data. Unless there is data that Morgana is dead. Or there is data that Morgana has upgraded 4 generations of gods. Otherwise, Geisha doesn't want to bother with these things. After all, there is a sacred treasury for calculation. She just needs a result. ... Earth. These days. Yifeng recorded Sun Wukong's mirror projection into the system. The first fight. Yifeng adjusted Sun Wukong's ability to a 1% weak chicken. Really? One-hit kill. Yifeng was rewarded by Sun Wukong's clone skill. The monkey's clone, not bad. Nightwing nodded. Although Yifeng itself also Grandmaster multiple Shadow Clone, but Shadow Clone has a big flaw in the battle process. That is, the pain after the clone is exploded will be transmitted back to the main body. So, in general, Nightwind doesn't like launching Shadow Clone to fight. Unless it's another fight. But Sun Wukong's clone technique is different. Each avatar is equivalent to an independent individual. Can be controlled by the spirit of the Nightwind. After the clone was exploded, Yifeng will not suffer any spiritual backlash. So some battles use Shadow Clone. Some battles use clones from monkeys. Perfect. Chapter 303_Morgana is here. Yifeng glanced at the favorability of the Shangbing Company. Feeling anxious in my heart. The favorability of Chiangwei and Chirin has reached 79 points. But 80 points seems like a distant dream. Including Rina. They never break the 80-point mark. As for Xin Zhao, the 4 of them. Although they have all improved to around 70 points. But their favorability is too unstable. Up and down. Yifeng was quite speechless. This day. They are enjoying the food made by Yifeng himself at Yifeng's house. Sudden. Du Kao hurriedly called Yifeng. Tell Yifeng to bring Reina to him quickly. Then, Yifeng used Horaitian to bring Reina to the command center of the Super Seminary. At this time, Du Kao and Lianfeng were staring at the big screen in front of them with brows furrowed. Various alarm sounds are frequently issued on various instruments. No wow. Whoa, whoa. Baby tilde baby tilde baby tilde. Alarm alert. There is an abnormality in the dark plane of the target location, and a wormhole is suspected to appear. Alarm alert. There is a strong magnetic field interference at the target site, and the DEN-03 satellite has lost its monitoring of the target site. What's wrong, Lao Du? Yifeng asked. We just detected strong dark energy fluctuations in the sky above Wangkun, and the monitoring ability of DEN-03 was also blocked by that energy. We suspect that something big is going to happen there. Du Kao frowned. Wangkun itself is just an ordinary town on the outskirts of Juxia City. There is nothing special about it. But such energy fluctuations are obviously unusual. Yifeng, your flight speed is faster than that of a plane, otherwise you can go over and take a look first, and I will let Lena assemble a company of soldiers immediately and give you second-line support. Du Kao looked at Yifeng and said to Reina. What is the most important thing on the battlefield? Vision is the most important. If you don't even know what happened to the target location, sending people over is still very dangerous. But no way. The Shangbing Company is the existence to deal with this special event. And Yifeng is the strongest among them. Wangkun, okay, let me go over there. Yifeng shrugged indifferently. Wangkun is ordinary though. But that's where Morgana first appeared on Earth. Yifeng used to worry that the system would suddenly let him go to Huang Village to sign in. So, nail printed with Horaitian in Wangkun beforehand. So, whoosh. Yifeng's whole person has disappeared. At the same time, black clouds rolled over the Yellow Village. The purple razor shone through the clouds. Like a giant ball of lights. The entire Wonkun is reflected in a strange color. At this time, the demon queen Morgana was wearing a small black leather jacket, with the mechanical demons behind her wings spread high, slowly descending from the sky. Yifeng stood at the door of a barbecue stall, looking up at Morgana. Her long black hair was loose, and her figure was extremely hot. If it weren't for the heavy makeup on that face, Morgana is definitely one of the top beauties in this universe. Young man, don't you hurry up. This looks like a female monster. Be careful to catch you back and squeeze it out. When an ant runner passed Yifeng, for the sake of his handsomeness, he kindly reminded him. After all, what ant can't let a coquettish person get it. What are you running? Don't run away. People are big monsters that can fly. Can we mortals run away? I think I should accept it from the heart. A thin, white-haired uncle shook his head. Isn't that a graceful female monster? It's a big deal. I'm at a loss. Test the water for you. After all, I'm only in my early 20s. Very strong body. To this, Yifeng felt quite speechless. No wonder Morgana chose to cultivate the genes of the sword demon Otto in Wonkun. It turns out that it's all sure here. Soon, Wonkun became a mess of porridge. Morgana glanced at the situation on the ground and frowned. Hey Feng, what are you doing with your special code? Get rid of all these messy things to the old lady. The old lady is the king of demons, not a special code monster. Morgana was angry. This is her debut. In addition to wanting to revive Otto when she came to Earth, she also intends to publicize her demon concept here, and by the way recruit a group of excellent demon warriors. But it's fine now. Everyone wears tinted glasses to see her. This special code impression point can be lost. After Black Wind heard Morgana's order, I couldn't help sighing. Queen, I'm not worried that our whereabouts will be captured by Earth's satellites. Don't leak our whereabouts. Heifeng was a little aggrieved. Are you kidding with the Queen? With your Queen's technology, it's just to block a satellite of the Earth, and you're using it so exaggeratedly. Kill me now, or let you take the lead next time. Morgana scolded Heifeng. Okay, alright, the world is big. The Queen is the biggest. Heifeng shook his head and removed all the customized versions of the anomalies, leaving only the interference to the outer satellites. At this time, Morgana looked at the clear sky above her head, and her mood finally improved again. After she landed, he glanced at the surrounding villagers. The corner of his mouth picked up, showing a bit of a wicked smile. Hello, Earthlings, my name is Morgana, the king of demons and your queen. Morgana put one hand on her hip and looked at the men in front of her. It's like watching a little white rabbit. I'm here to give you benefits this time. As long as you are willing to follow me, you can become my Morgana's fighters. Are you interested? Devil and Angel have 537,819,336 years of combat history. Although the Devil loses more and wins less. But, under the leadership of Morgana, the Demon Legion never suffered serious damage. What is this for? It is because Morgana has a very unique personal charm. On the way to lead the demon to escape, she continued to recruit new recruits and expand the demon's team. Of course. All male demons. Emma, what kind of monster is this? It's said to be here for welfare. What does that mean? Don't you know how to send benefits? Isn't it the kind in your mysterious space with several tons? Then I will. I'm still a bachelor. Then I'm willing to. I can be juiced by her. Hear these messed up sounds. Morgana shook her head and let out a sneer. I told you that I was the Devil Queen, and I was the monster. Did you read too many novels? Morgana is free and easy by nature. It doesn't make me angry because of a few words. Say shit. Earth is just a pre-nuclear civilization. Like a little girl who has never experienced a wedding night. I don't even know what the power of God is. So, Morgana is ready to let the people of the earth have a first glimpse of the power of the Demon Queen. Chapter 304 Are the Earthlings Dead? Morgana walked slowly to Yifeng. She stretched out her index finger, hooked Yifeng's chin, and asked with a smile, "Handsome guy, what's your name?" "Night Wind." Yifeng smiled lightly and moved Morgana's index finger away with her backhand. After all, this action should have been done by him. "Oh, it's a good name. Is it a leaf with deep roots, and a peak with undulating peaks?" Morgana showed off her knowledge without a trace. "No, it's the night of singing every night, the wind of Hefeng galloping." Yifeng frowned. This demon queen can do it. Very skilled in driving. He couldn't keep up. Hee, good name. Morgana showed a sincere smile on her face and asked, "Would you like to follow me, Morgana, and be an unscrupulous warrior?" Morgana had actually noticed Yifeng long ago. After she came to Wangkun, the villagers were all panicked. Even the man who carried the auto-gene data. But the Night Wind is different. He has always maintained a calm look. Don't say anything else. Just say it's calm. That's enough to be her Morgana's fighter. Being a warrior by your side. Yifeng smiled, looked at Morgana recklessly, and said, "I'm not interested, but if you want me to be your man, I can consider it." Yifeng is not playing tricks on Morgana. He just expressed his true thoughts. After all, don't look at how ugly Morgana looks now. The smoky makeup on his face looks very social. But after she takes off her makeup, Morgana is a real beauty. To be in shape. To have good looks. And she's also a very beautiful woman. This aura meets her devilish figure. Two extremely contradictory temperaments gave her the capital to turn all living beings upside down. So, beauties like this. In the future, I want to make 100 flowers with rosé. Night Wind thinks. He needs to intervene manually. But, Yifeng, if you think about it carefully. After he came to this world, it seemed that he already had several small goals that required human intervention. So, what kind of world is this? There are so many abnormal things. At the same time, Hefeng, who was on the demon number 1, was dumbfounded. "Queen, the men on this earth are so fierce, they dare to make fun of you in public. Do you want me to blast him into foam with a divine bombardment?" Hefeng said in a condensed voice. Blast the enemy into Momo is his queen's favorite. None of them. God damn your sister. Don't you know that your queen is not rich now? Wouldn't it be nice to leave the goddamn bombing to the beautiful angel sisters? Morgana scolded Hefeng on the demon's dark communication channel. Then, she looked at Yifeng with a face full of spring breeze and said, "A man who wants to be a queen. Your ambition is actually very good. After all, our demons advocate degenerate freedom and do whatever they want. If you really like the queen and want to overthrow the queen, it doesn't matter, as long as you have the ability." To be honest, why are almost all male demons in Morgana's demon army? Isn't it that everyone loves Morgana? Maybe there are many demons here who are greedy for her body. But Morgana didn't care. As long as someone can really have the masculine charm that Morgana is impressed by. It doesn't matter if she is pushed down. After all, ever since Carl publicly proposed the idea of the ultimate fear, Morgana's mind changed. Since this universe will be destroyed sooner or later, then why doesn't she live freely and freely? No one can force her to do anything she doesn't want to do. No one can force her to go where she doesn't want to go. No one can force her to like someone who doesn't like it. Just so domineering. Not afraid of who will slap in the face. About this point, even Yifeng envied her very much. After all, Yifeng is also dominated by the dog system from time to time. However, the system has not always been so pitted. Just when Yifeng and Morgana were playing with each other, the system has successfully included Morgana's favorability data into the mirror projection interface. Morgana is very powerful. She started with 70 points. Then, after Yifeng's violent operation, Morgana's favorability rating for Yifeng directly soared to 79 points. To this soaring speed, Yifeng also felt quite surprised. Could it be? Morgana will be the first humanoid in his income system. Thought here. Yifeng touched his chin. Looking at Morgana's eyes became eager. Okay, I have a showdown. My ability is actually very strong. Do you want me to prove it to you on the spot? Yifeng showed a sincere smile on his face. The collision of gods and gods. Presumably this experience will be extraordinary. Cut, don't say these are useless, let the queen upgrade you to my demon warrior first. Morgana smiled. Subsequently, she opened her mouth slightly. A lilac gas spurted out of her mouth. It's called the Devil's Breath. Contains unique demon genes. It can enter the body through the respiratory tract. Alter the genetic makeup of the target. Very efficient. But Yifeng was naturally not interested in such genes. He waved it casually. A futon wind-style recentricon came out through his body, completely obliterating Morgana's tone. Is this going to be fragrant? Anyway, let me find a place with less people. Yifeng said and raised his right hand, making a gesture to pinch Morgana's chin. But who is Morgana? Will it be pinched by the night wind? She grabbed Yifeng's wrist with a backhand, her eyes sank slightly, and said, Hey Feng, look at what's going on with this guy. How can he destroy my demonic breath? Although Morgana has a big personality. But she is not a fool. Judging from the various performances of the night wind, he definitely has a problem. After a few seconds, Haifeng has already analyzed the general situation of Yifeng. Queen, the genes in his body are just ordinary Earth human genes, but he contains a very special energy in his body, like biological energy but not very similar. And judging from the data collected on the Earth network, he is a person from the Earth Super Seminary, and he had contact with Angel Yan some time ago. We might have to be careful. The battle between Yifeng and Angel Yan was not a secret. The gluttons have come. Officials will no longer block such information. It can't be blocked after all. Therefore, Haifeng easily found these public information related to Yifeng on the internet. Oh, Earthlings. Morgana looked at Yifeng with different eyes and said, Are the Earthlings so stupid now? Isn't it because the special code has been hacked? Chapter 305 _ There is no plowed field. Just like Angel Yan. After Haifeng synchronized Yifeng's information to Morgana, she said that she couldn't understand what Yifeng was doing at all. Want to hear my secret? You have to hurry up if you want to. After all, I have promised Angel Yan that when she becomes my guardian angel, I will tell him my little secret. Then there will be no chance for your demons. Nightwind shrugged. It's not that I don't give you a chance. It is true that there are too many girls who will take a fancy to me in the future. Cut. Just you. You still want Angel Yan to be your guardian angel. Why don't you say that you want Geisha and that Bitcha to be a girl park for you? Morgana smiled disdainfully. She was also an archangel. Naturally understand what the 4 words guardian angel mean. That's not to say do it. Once the female angel is sworn in as the male guardian angel, that is to be guarded for eternity. Love what he loves. Think what he thinks. Fight for him. Never give up. That is the most sacred oath among the angels. Forget it if you don't believe me. If the angel girl insists on marrying me, then I will only be your enemy. Yifeng said indifferently. Angels and demons are mortal enemies. Yifeng thought about it. He can't be a scumbag who steps on 2 boats, right? Hee, are you talking more and more vigorously? Then I don't think so. I came to your Earth to resurrect one of my demon warriors. How about I give you a chance to pursue me if you can beat him? Morgana smiled. She was actually quite satisfied with a warrior like Yifeng. After all, in the known universe, Those who dare to make fun of angels and demons at the same time in front of the Demon Queen. She hasn't met yet. Defeat your subordinates. Yifeng shook his head and smiled disdainfully. It seems that you really don't know anything about my strength. To tell you the truth, I'm actually an open player. Yifeng once again told the truth directly. After all, Nightwind is very lonely. He is the only one who can open such a big hang in the whole world. This kind of life is really lonely as snow. So, Yifeng very much hoped that someone could believe what he said. Then watch him open up and pretend. That's how you feel. Okay, then let me see how you go about it. Morgana smiled lightly. Subsequently, she walked up to the white-haired guy in his early 20s. He cried out tenderly. Atto. Atto is Morgana's #1 great demon. Be loyal to her. Atto was originally just an ordinary demon warrior. Through his unremitting efforts, he grew into a great demon under Morgana. In the war between demons and angels that broke out 2,000 years ago, Atto was killed. Even his genetic data was destroyed by Tien using the Sky Blade Judgment. No way. Morgana could only implant the genetic backup data he had kept in advance into the bodies of Earthlings. Atto's genes are nurtured through Earth humans. To realize Atto's revival. This is over. It is 2,000 years. At this time, this wonderful young man, whom Morgana called Atto, had a very complicated mood. Queen, although you Shengbao, are willing to come, but you let me take off in front of so many people. Is this really appropriate? Yu Shengbao said timidly. It's not that Yu Shengbao doesn't want to take it off. The mountains of this demon queen are so majestic. Just turn off the light. He probably could have made some pulp for her. But that can't be in front of so many people, can it? Yu Shengbao, don't have to save face. After all, I also had 18 girlfriends at the same time. Take off your sister. Morgana smiled, and then she blew at Yu Baosheng. I didn't expect you to be like this. I've really wronged you all these years. Morgana's voice fell. A purplish-black gas sank into Yu Shengbao's eyebrows. He suddenly felt dark in front of him. Immediately after, countless unfamiliar and familiar memories flooded into his mind. Yu Baosheng knelt on the ground, prostrate at Morgana's feet, and let out a painful howl. What did you do to me? Why do I feel like I have power all over my body? I feel like I can hit 10 now. In an instant, the purple-black demonic aura completely enveloped Yu Shengbao. His white hair disappeared instantly. The muscles of the whole body began to bulge. Give him a chance now. He felt that he could get all his 18 girlfriends in one go. Let them deeply understand a truth. If there are fields that are not badly cultivated, that's just because they can't till their cattle. Tisk tisk tisk, no wonder your demons are being hunted down by angels all over the universe. Just like you, who would dare to say that you are not villains? Yifeng stood beside Morgana and couldn't help stuttering. Although Yifeng also knew that the demon was not as evil as the angel described. They just believe differently from angels. At least the style of behavior is much stronger than that of a warmonger like Gluttonous. But their strange behavior style makes many people accept incompetence. Fortunately, Morgana is still more pleasing to the eye when it turns into a cold ice state. What do you know? From a human point of view, a Kunsa star like Atto is indeed ugly, but the real aesthetics can cross races. Morgana said disdainfully. Is Atto ugly? Is the Black Wind ugly? In their respective ethnic groups, is it better that they are all handsome? Immediately after, Atto's demon breath became more and more dignified. Finally, he completed the demon transformation. He has successfully transformed from a white-haired 20-year-old boy with broken plowing into a demon warrior more than 3 meters tall. Atto, you are finally back, long time no see. Morgana looked at the familiar figure in front of her with a look of relief on her face. She is the Demon Queen. But Morgana is not a cold-blooded devil. On the contrary, She cherishes her subordinates very much. Queen, have we failed? Ado kneeled at Morgana's feet respectfully. He sighed heavily. Since he was resurrected in this form, that means that the devil must have lost miserably in that battle. It doesn't matter, if you lose, you will lose. As long as you are all alive, it doesn't matter if I lose, Queen. Morgana smiled lightly. Morgana started out in Kunsa. They weren't called demons back then. Their name is the devil. Otto and the others were originally the demon clan of Kunsa. But because Geisha can't tolerate Morgana's behavior, this defines them as demons. Angel's mortal enemy. But Morgana is assisted by Carl. Now it has been successfully upgraded to the 4th generation of gods. So, she felt like she might have done it again. She resurrected the old part this time. I just want to be an angel again. Chapter 306 _ Ado's baby bump is gone. Queen, quote. Do you need me to turn all the villagers here into your demon warriors? Ado glanced at the group of villagers around him who had lived with him for more than 20 years. There is no emotion in the sound. After all, 20 years to keep up with Eternal wants to compare. Just a flick of a finger. Originally, I wanted to add a wave of demon warriors to Earth, but the Queen is more interested in this Yefeng now. Morgana pointed to Yefeng, and then instructed Otto, Otto, you have just been resurrected. Just to give you a chance to move your muscles and teach the Queen a lesson. Quote. Good. Otto narrowed his eyes slightly. Although he is no longer who he was. But he clearly remembered that this guy called Yifeng just seemed to be greedy for his queen's body. This is something Otto can never forgive. Although his demon Otto is not even the queen's spare tire. But Otto loves the queen. He never expected the queen to love him too. He would be content as long as he could be a reserve tire for the queen. So, if anyone dares to disrespect the queen, Otto will draw his sword for his queen. Yifeng, I heard that your sword is very fast. Otto, yes, my nickname is Sword Demon. I'm the queen's #1 warrior. Yifeng, I actually use a knife. I wanted to see if it was your sword or mine. Otto, what about now? Yifeng, I suddenly regret it now. Otto, I regret it now. Don't you think it's too late? Yifeng, is it alright to leave a right leg? Otto, of course not. Since you dare to attack the queen, then you have to take off your third leg. When the conversation goes here. Nightwing sighed. Then, I saw swords, lights and swords flash alternately in the air. The two also switched positions in an instant. Back to back. Yifeng shook his head. I think you misunderstood me. I said I regret it because I suddenly felt that your sword could never be faster than mine. I said I wanted to keep your right leg down, but you insisted that I cut off your third leg, so I have nothing to do. Puff. Yifeng's voice fell. A certain part of Otto's body then fell to the ground. Blood splattered. At the same time, Sword Demon Otto let out a wailing from the depths of his soul. My darling iron bump. This is the weapon Otto used to fight his 18 girlfriends. Today, he actually lost it. Ah, this. Queen, what do you think? Heifeng saw this picture on Demon #1, and couldn't help but feel that a certain part was tight in vein. Chicken is a good thing. Too bad Otto is gone. Fog grass. Do you want to be so bloody? Morgana frowned. Although Otto's chicken is gone. But Morgana felt that it was nothing. After all, it's been so many years. Haven't seen Otto use that thing at all. Queen, please allow me to kill this earth guy. If you want warriors, I will find you in other civilizations in the future. Otto is angry. Although his chicken is gone. But he is a big devil. Even so, he can still burst out with the highest level of combat power. In the future, Otto, I think you may not have this chance in the future. Yifeng looked at the disturbing object on the ground and couldn't help shaking his head. If there is a dash cam, the process just now will be clearly recorded. It's not that someone made a ruthless shot at night. It was indeed a request from the sword demon Otto himself. What can someone else do at night? Death to me, sword demon Otto finally broke out. He slammed a hammer over the ground. Subsequently, a chain appeared out of thin air that seemed to be contaminated with fire from hell, going straight towards the night wind. To this, Yifeng shook his head. He had completely lost interest in swinging with Otto. Then, clone technique activated. 100 Yifeng's clones charged towards Otto. Some pose in front. There are people hammering people in the back. Quite lively. Then, Yifeng's real body came to Morgana's side. Is this really your number one big devil? A bit weak. No wonder you guys have been unable to beat angels. Yifeng shrugged and gave Morgana a meaningful look. Speak up. The strength gap between demons and angels is quite large. They have launched 4 nebula-level wars in the past 10,000 years. But, except for the one 6,000 years ago, Morgana combines the Godkiller Sniper with the wormhole capabilities of Demon 1. Hit the angel and rub his hands in no hurry. The remaining 3 wars all ended in demonic failure. So, in the eyes of the Night Wind, Morgana probably means Mo run run. Humph. Isn't that because their angel family has a great career? Most of the angels have upgraded the resistance of the god-killing bullet. Otherwise, with the Queen's time and space tactics, they would have been wiped out long ago. Morgana said, very unconvinced. Resources are extremely important in this world. The technological level of the great gods like them is actually quite high. But the resources that the universe can develop and utilize are limited. If resources can be released and used, everyone will become gods. Then what is the ultimate fear? Morgana, do you think time and space tactics are really strong? Have you ever thought about a question? If the opponent has the ability to change the space medium around you, will your time and space tactics be abolished by more than half? Yifeng thought about it. Still decided to remind Morgana. After all, in the future, it is because Kunz's space medium was modified by Yi with a black hole engine. So it's cool. Yo, I don't think you know a lot. Morgana gave Yifeng a meaningful look and said. My time and space genes do have many defects today, and the space medium you just mentioned is one of them. But I have confidence in myself. Give me another 1,800 years. My Morgana's space-time gene must be the strongest ability in the entire universe. Morgana has very strong confidence in this. The space-time rose is the product that she and Carl jointly researched. Don't look at the relatively low genetic technology at that time. It's just a second-generation gene. But the genetic concept of the space-time rose is very powerful. As long as Morgana upgrades Chiangwei to the 3rd-generation technology, she can have the most powerful space-time ability in the known universe. By the time, demons only need to use their time and space abilities flexibly. They are not afraid of the void at all. After all, Mo Ran Ran is not a joke. Your void god hasn't come yet. I ran away. Just ask if you are afraid. 1,800 years. Yifeng shook his head. Where can there be another 1,800 years for you? In a few years, your demon queen will be killed by Yi. Unless someone manually intervenes at night. Chapter 307 _ The devil is making a home on Earth. Okay, quote. Tell the queen first about what's going on with your clone technique. I heard that there is a fighting victory Buddha on your Earth. He seems to know this. How can you? Do you have any special relationship with him? Morgana asked curiously. The story of Sun Wukong has long been known in the known universe. Morgana heard that with his single-handed clone technique, even the Liang Panjian could not occupy the Earth. But, although Morgana is also curious about the clone technique, but the profession has specialization. She has to conquer the time and space technique and avoid the tracking of angels, so she has no energy to study any kind of avatar technique. She is more concerned about Yifeng's relationship with the monkey. Actually, the principle is very simple. Do you want to learn it? Yifeng asked Morgana with a smile. Humph, would you tell me so easily, you stinky boy? Am I stupid to be the queen? Morgana glared at Yifeng. This kid must be hitting on the old lady again. The old lady will not be easily fooled. It's good that you know, but I'm right in front of you. When you figure it out, you can come to me for in-depth communication at any time. Yifeng shrugged. Don't you just hang up on that. Anyway, he can only be regarded as a passerby to all planes. Can you tell me what to do? I'm afraid you won't believe it. At this time, Haifeng asked Morgana weakly from the demon's communication channel, and said, Queen. I think Otto has been hammered into a blood gourd. Do you really want to save him? Although Kurokaze is not of the same race as Atto. But their comrade-in-arms relationship is still very strong. Seeing Atto being hammered, the queen of his family is still having an affair with others. Can the Black Wind just sit back and ignore it? Ah, this. Yefeng, have you beaten enough? Don't break my mother's Atto. Morgana frowned. The two of them may have talked too deeply just now. She almost forgot about Otto. Enough is enough, mainly because I haven't hammered people for too long, so I couldn't hold back for a while. Yifeng took back all the clones. At this time, Atto, who was suspicious of demons, appeared on the ground. Queen. Haven't I been beaten already? What did you mean by that sentence just now? Why does my reading comprehension feel like I can't get full marks anymore? Okay, I also know that it's not easy for you demons, and the situation on Earth is very complicated. As long as you promise not to mess around on Earth, I will keep it a secret for you, so that the angels will not know that you have been to Earth. Is that okay? Yifeng thought about it. If it is from the perspective of Earthlings, whether it's an angel or a demon, all are outsiders. Anyway, after the gluttonous hit, the structure of the Earth can no longer go back to the way it used to be. Just like a little girl who spent her wedding night. Remembering the past is useless. I can only open my arms and embrace the future. So, Yifeng didn't intend to stand in line either. After all, his ultimate goal is to actively sign in, and then he can return to the ninja world to play with his sisters in the future. It's very good, and you know how to keep secrets for the queen. But I feel that your Earth is a good ball, otherwise I'll settle down here. Morgana smiled noncommittally. She had indeed wandered enough. I really like this place on Earth. People on Earth are special. The bottom layer of the gene is very expandable. It can easily be inserted into the super genes of other civilizations. In other words, as long as the devil's super genetic resources are sufficient, Morgana can completely cultivate a large number of super soldiers on Earth. As for the invasion, although they will become demons, their genes are still Earthlings. Like Atto is still Kunsa. Black Wind is still a giant werewolf. Morgana is still an angel. Demon is just the name of an organization. Their race will not change. It's just 3 perspectives that have changed. Angia, you can do whatever you want. Anyway, the gluttons are here, and the angels will come again in the future, as long as you don't destroy the Earth for me. Said here. Nightwing sighed. Although the night wind is already strong. But if the Earth is really annihilated, then his super god journey was really tragic enough. So, Yifeng really needs Morgana to stay on Earth, so that she can stop Teodi from using the star-killing weapon. Don't worry, I'll teach this queen about the safety of this ball of Earth. Anyway, I will never allow it to destroy the star. Morgana said proudly. As long as Geisha doesn't come to destroy the star. Pangen can't destroy the star. Karl does not come to destroy the star. No one dared to destroy the Earth in front of her demon queen. Okay, what about these people? What are you going to do with them? Yifeng pointed to the surrounding villagers and said, you demons should also be brainwashed, right? Do it properly. Well, no problem, I'll take care of the aftermath. Morgana nodded. There is a night wind on the earth. This was something Morgana didn't expect at all. And, judging from the news from Haifeng to her, the space-time rose has also been activated on Earth. Such a planet. Morgana felt that she needed to develop it well. So, aftermath. Morgana is still very careful. The matter of Wangkun was handled very properly by Morgana. Except after the night wind. Other humans have forgotten what happened. Earth's satellites have never broken through the interference blockade of Demon 1. So, at present, all countries do not know that a demon has come in China. But, Yifeng didn't hide it from Dukao. Yifeng, what do you think about the devil? Do we want to ask the angel for help? Dukao looked at Yifeng meaningfully and asked. Dukao had heard a little about demons. Every time they come to a civilization, they will trumpet the idea of demons. And their advocacy is very easy to succeed. The idea of gaining strength because of that liberating nature is contagious. So, although demons are targeted by angels, but never die, I don't think much of it. I only know that the earth can't deal with demons yet, and once we ask angels for help, the earth or the entire Silver River system may be reduced to a battlefield for angels and demons. Yifeng also looked at Dukao meaningfully and said, You Denuo have developed into a god-building civilization. You should be very aware of what a war of their scale means. The war between angels and demons is not simply a battle of vanguards. There is often a nebula-level conflict between them. Many civilizations were directly annihilated in the conflict between angels and demons. After all, war requires energy. And the seemingly inexhaustible stars in the universe are energy sources. If a war broke out between angels and demons in the solar system, the power of the sun will naturally be used by them. But, when the sun's energy is overexploited, it will accelerate the sun's demise. Once the sun evolves towards a white dwarf, its volume expands rapidly, so you can easily swallow the earth directly. So, take the status quo of human civilization on Earth. They simply cannot afford a war of this magnitude right now. Chapter 308_New features of the system. But, if the blazing sun comes to the Earth to get a piece of the pie, and the devil also comes to the Earth to get a kick, the Earth will sooner or later become the arena of the gods. Dukao sighed heavily. Table Dino finally found the Earth as a shelter. Now, the Earth has been watched by all the great gods. How ill-fated. You should come back sooner or later. It's useless for you to worry. Yifeng shook his head indifferently, and said, I don't have much to do now, so I'll be watching Morgana, anyway. It won't stop her from overdoing it. Yifeng actually felt very relieved about Morgana. Although the devil advocates freedom. But, what Morgana's demons yearn for most is to follow her queen. So, instead, they will not be random on the earth. This, Dukao pondered for a while, then looked at Yifeng solemnly, and said, in this way, I will have to trouble you. As the night wind said, the earth is a little difficult to deal with gluttons. Not to mention dealing with demons. So, it might be a better choice to let Yifeng stabilize Morgana for a while. Leaving the command center of the super seminary, Yifeng returned to his room. As soon as you enter, Yifeng couldn't wait to open the system's mirror projection interface. As Morgana's favorability level so easy to gain, as expected of the Devil Queen, she is really a person of grace. Yifeng smiled lightly. Once the target is recorded into the mirror projection system, even if the other party is not with Yifeng, Yifeng was still able to see the change in the opponent's favorability towards him. Just not long ago, Yifeng suddenly discovered that Morgana's favorability rating for him had increased to 80 points. This made Yifeng very happy. Then let's swing it. Yifeng couldn't wait to open Morgana's avatar. Just like the groom who was eager to lift the bride on the wedding night. Then, Yifeng adjusted Morgana's strength to the lowest state. At this time, Inside the arena, Morgana stood opposite Yifeng with a dull gaze. Somewhat silly. Yifeng originally had a bold idea. But as soon as I saw the sluggish appearance of projection Morgana, he suddenly felt dull again. Then, Yifeng instantly kicked Morgana's projection into the air. Then a punch was thrown. Boom! Fresh Yuhi's blood bloomed in the air like fireworks. Ding! Congratulations on the successful challenge of the host, and get Reward 1, Time and Space Shield, Reward 2, Dark Su Silver Dagger 1, Reward 3, Lightning Halberd 1. After hearing the dropped bonus content, Yifeng was slightly taken aback. Subsequently, there was a look of relief on his face. Space-Time Shield, a passive skill that can prevent the host from forcibly being subjected to wormhole operations. Yifeng read the skill description of the Space-Time Shield. Involuntarily fell into contemplation. Good luck. He almost forgot that Morgana also had a set of dark, silver wormholes. Dark Su Silver is the sharpest and hardest metal in the Super Seminary world. The weapons crafted by Dark Su Silver are very powerful. Various gods can be easily cut. But Dark Silver weapon is sharp. It is not effective against those gods who rely on energy to live and whose gods can heal automatically. But Yifeng is not a god. In other words, ordinary traumatic night wind can be recovered by chakra. But if Yifeng was mortally wounded, he will also die. And Morgana's dark silver weapon is not much. But there are still a few. In addition, Morgana is also a master at using micro wormholes. If you were in Wongkun, Morgana calculated a micro wormhole in Yifeng's body and directly penetrated the silver blade from Yifeng's body. Even if Yifeng had a relatively strong skin defense, still can't resist the silver blade inside. So, after starting the passive skill of Time and Space Shield, Yifeng finally felt that nothing was lost. After all, in front of this group of interstellar gods, it's definitely not wrong to fill up all kinds of defense points first. Next, Yifeng also studied the Dark Su Silver Dagger that exploded from Morgana. The Dark Su Silver Dagger is extremely sharp. But Yifeng prefers to use his ninja sword, Goosh. Of course. Silver blade like Sumeri did. That's pretty cool too. There is a fairy tale feeling. I don't know which one is sharper, this dagger or Goosh. Yifeng thought for a while, then pulled out Goosh with his left hand, grabbed the silver blade with his right, and slashed towards Goosh. Clang! A crisp sound rang out. Both weapons are intact. Gui Che is not weaker than Ansu Silver at all. It seems that the material is not ordinary. Yifeng meaningfully looked at the ninja knife in his hand, and shook his head again. However, although the ghost is hard, it cannot be like it doesn't make sense to break through monkeys and crocodiles like a silver blade. At this time, the system suddenly jumped out and gave Yifeng a warm reminder. The weapon that the host gets from the projection can be fused with the ghost. The fused ghost can have the characteristics of the fused weapon. Yifeng raised his eyebrows. This new function is very powerful. But why don't I see anything? The weapon fusion function you mentioned should have conditions to be activated, right? Can you clarify the conditions first? Yifeng said while rubbing his chin. He didn't believe the system would be so kind. There must be some tricks behind this. When the host successfully opens the 5 projections, the weapon fusion function can be opened. The system said emotionally. Oh, that is to say, as long as I project 2 more objects, can I upgrade Goosh? Yifeng nodded thoughtfully. Ghost is strong. And it is very mysterious and unreasonable kind of strong. But Gui Toru's performance in this world is obviously somewhat limited. But if Gito can integrate the characteristics of those high-end weapons in the future, then it will be a proper artifact in the future. Then, Yifeng seemed to have been beaten all of a sudden, and began to place Sun Wukong, Thornton, and Morgana in rotation. Tonight is doomed to sleepless. The next half month. Yifeng brushed a pile of mess from the three of them. Crocodile's door kiba. Monkey's toenails. Morgana's vanity case and ape collection in various styles. Anyway, there is nothing serious about it. This disappointed Yifeng very much. As for the favorability of Shangbing Company's friends, Yifeng was also quite speechless. Now, Rose and the others have been stuck at 79 points for a long time. So far it has not broken the 80-point mark. Yifeng didn't know what they were holding back. As for the four bastards in the grass, the four of them have improved a lot. But that's something that hovers around 75 points. If Yifeng wasn't worried about deducting points, I really want to educate them well. But just when Yifeng was in a somewhat unhappy mood, someone's powerful system finally released a new sign-in task. Chapter 309 _ Carl's Slaughter Plan. This time you want me to go to Egypt to sign in. Yifeng shook his head. His check-in location for this mission was a temple in Egypt. The more secretive one. This is not too difficult for Yifeng to sign in. But he also doesn't remember what the hell happened in Egypt. Generally speaking, sign-in tasks that have nothing to do with the main storyline will be quite pitiful. So Yifeng didn't have much expectations for this trip to Egypt. But no matter how small an ant is, it is still meat. Something is better than nothing. So Yifeng is ready to set off immediately. So fragrant. ... Earth. Outer space. Morgana's Demon 1 is hidden in some unknown corner of the solar system. Demons use wormholes to warp time and space. Even an angel of the rank of Angel Yan would definitely not be able to find the whereabouts of the devil. So Morgana often turned into a cold ice and haunted all over China. As for why China and not those other countries, it can only be said that the mainstream of the super god universe is the Kamigawa form. That is, in the form of Earthlings. And the language of Washa happens to be the orthodox language of Kamigawa. So the other Guojia were like barbarians to Morgana. Of course she wasn't interested. This day, Carl's interstellar call suddenly hits Morgana's Demon 1. Queen, I just switched to the latest private communication channel, how can I still be called? Morgana frowned. When I used the old number before, no one was looking for the old lady. Just changed numbers now. Did the phone call right away? Is there a ghost in my old communication channel? Lianbing, hello, I'm Carl. Carl's puppy's voice sounded in Morgana's ear. Carl, you're slippery, can you find me a glass of Yuhi? Sit on the queen's throne. Yun Danfang smiled lightly. Carl was Morgana's little brother. He is very smart. I also studied time and space with her. However, Carl and Morgana treat the void differently. Carl advocates blending into the void. I want to let the void come to this world. In this way he can uncover the mysteries of this world. But in Morgana's view, such an idea is utter nonsense. The old lady is alive and well. Why welcome the void? Do you want to kill yourself by lighting a lamp in the toilet? Lang Bing, we haven't been in touch for a long time, I heard that you went to Earth. Carl asked. Yeah, I'm on Earth. Morgana smiled and said, you received the news of that kid from the Swallow Beast so soon. Did he speak ill of me behind his back? Not really, Carl smiled. After Morgana left the Yellow Village, she immediately arranged for Otto to meet with the gluttonous king, the gluttonous one. Otto, who has lost a certain part, can be a little cranky mentally. So when he disagreed, he slapped him. Then warned the Gorget. The gluttonous must not allow the use of weapons above nuclear on the Earth. Otherwise, the entire Silver River system. Whoever the devil wants to die must die. Otto's approach naturally made the Devourer feel quite aggrieved. You have the support of God behind you. Is the old man gone? Then Devourer went to the god of death Carl to complain. Probably means And let people create death. And don't let people use weapons of mass destruction. What happened then? People die for you to see. So, Carl decided to take the opportunity to contact Morgana. This place on Earth is very beautiful, and I like it very much, so your subordinates will either get out of the way, or they have to do what I want. There is no need to discuss. Morgana said unbearably. I'm not looking for you mainly because of the beast. I want to say, if you really plan to settle down on Earth, do you need me to help you kill Geisha? After all, she's alive, you can't settle down. Carl, the sound was extremely flat. As if what he was about to kill was not the supreme god of this universe. But like a weak chicken. Morgana heard this. Eyes narrowed. Immediately he stood up from the throne. What do you mean by that? Do you think you can do it again? Don't you really think you can deal with Geisha's bitch? Morgana's eyes were solemn. Geisha is strong. Super strong. Although Morgana has fought with Geisha for more than 10,000 years. But she never thought she could kill Geisha. She's just disgusting Geisha at best. Yes, I have a bold idea, would you like to hear it? Carl said. Carl's idea is indeed bold. His longing for the Void Age has reached its peak. Geisha's righteous order heavily influences Carl's further actions. So, he has to kill Geisha. Although the event of the gluttonous attack on the Earth itself is only an accidental event. But, Carl calculates a chance to kill Geisha through the deduction of the big clock. But, this plan requires Morgana as bait. Oh, let's talk about it first. Morgana asked. Good. Then, Carl explained his plan to Morgana in general. Of course. The core technology is reserved. He just gave a general introduction to the process. Fog grass. Are you trying to use me to lure Geisha to Earth? Then control Reina to blow her up? After Morgana listened to Carl's explanation, she walked around the room thoughtfully. Obviously, she was wondering whether it was reliable or not. Just based on Reina's strength, how could she blow up Geisha's divine body? Geisha's divine body is the hardest divine body in the known universe. Morgana thought for a while. Although Reina claims to be the light of the sun, he is the most destructive god in the known universe. But, any ability is just a power amplifier. Sunlight has the strongest magnification. But Reina was still young after all. That's all the dark energy accumulated in her body. And on Earth, all Reina can control is the Earth's sun. Even detonating the sun, it may not be able to destroy Geisha's sacred body. So, Morgana is deeply skeptical of Carl's plans. Don't worry, I have my own way. I can definitely destroy the holy Geisha in one fell swoop. It's up to you whether you want it or not. Carl said lightly. Oh, do you still have such black technology? Let's talk about it first. Morgana asked curiously. It's okay to say it, but you have to upgrade to a phantom like me, Carl said. Come on. Every one of them knows how to make conditions with the queen. And they all want to beat the old lady's body. Do you really think that I, Morgana, are a mess? At this time, Morgana unnaturally thought of Yifeng. Originally, only Carl in the known universe can keep Morgana from seeing through. Now, there was another night wind. Chapter 310 _ What a coincidence, we meet again. Actually, the phantom body is not as bad as you think. Although some feelings are indeed gone, the phantom body is immune to physical damage after all. I think the phantom body is the only divine body that can save lives in front of the void creatures. Quote. Carl persuaded Morgana to sell the illusion. After all, everyone is already a god who has lived a few eternals. There are some feelings that should not be necessary. It doesn't matter. After all, spiritual joy is what lasts the most. Take it down, the price of returning the divine body is too high. I don't want to fall back to the rank of the third-generation divine body. Morgana shook her head and decisively rejected Carl. I want to upgrade my body. in addition to having the corresponding divine body upgrade technology. Resources and character are also required. Resources are easy to understand. The total mass of the known universe is constant. If a super soldier wants to become a god, he must consume energy. But being a god is not just about having technology and resources. It is possible to become a god. And the odds are pretty low. This is why there are so few gods in the two major civilizations, angels and demons. Because, in case of bad luck, it takes a lot of resources to spawn a third-generation divine body. As for how much, it depends on how many times the upgrade fails. And the so-called three major god-building projects are strong because their probability of becoming gods is super high. As long as there are enough resources. Basically, it can be promoted to 3 generations of gods naturally. So, Morgana had already felt the terror of being dominated by probability when she upgraded the 4th generation divine body. How could she dare to go back to the furnace and rebuild it? And phantom. What's the point of a body that has lost its senses? Although the function of some parts of the old lady has not been used yet. But that doesn't mean it won't be used in the future. If that's the case, I'm sorry I can't tell you my secret. After all, I'm also worried that there are too many people who know it, and my weaknesses will be exposed. Carl said. Okay, then I'll trust you again, but you want me to be the bait to lure Geisha into the bait. What benefits are you going to give me? Morgana thought for a while. You can't do bait for nothing, right? Her demon queen is not a character who likes to suffer. If it's good. Well, I sealed a Stygian warrior in Egypt. He has a 2nd generation divine body. I can tell you the location, you go and let it follow you to be your demon warrior. Carl knew that Morgana liked warriors. And Big Buran is a very good fighter. So, that's what Carl is going to give Morgana. Giant Clan. Also special code as a god body Giant Clan. This gift is very satisfying to my mother. After Morgana hung up Carl, there was a smile on his face. Giants are a powerful race of sticks. The warriors there are naturally belligerent. Perfect for being a demon. Haifeng, go to Egypt with the queen to see. Egypt. A mysterious Matsuri altar. Morgana walked first. Behind him were Kurokes and a white-robed chief steward, Matsuri. As the one in front the Matsuri altar you told me about. Why do I feel that there is someone over there? Morgana turned her head to Haifeng and asked, Haifeng, look who is there. Black Wind sighed. Don't you have the eye of insight? Can't you just take a look at this from yourself? Do you have to let me watch it? Is this the only way to show that you are a leader? But the Queen of Heaven and Earth is the biggest. Since the Queen has ordered, even if we are confused, we have to do it. Then, Black Wind opened the zipper. He took out a yingbangbang odd-shaped device from his crotch. The power button was pressed. Then, this Devil Number 1 terminal device is connected to the Devil Number 1 host. Very high-tech. And then, Haifeng displayed a fierce operation. Matsuri altar finally appeared on the screen of the terminal device. Queen, isn't that the weirdo who abolished Atto that day? Black Wind frowned. He always felt that something was wrong with Yifeng. Oh, sure enough, Yifeng, what is he doing here? Morgana was stunned for a moment, apparently not expecting to meet Yifeng again so soon. Queen, I have a little idea that may not yet be mature. I don't know whether to say it or not. Haifeng hesitated for a while, and said mysteriously. Tell me, your special code as a devil, you can say whatever you want. If you need to think so much, can the special code still be called a devil? Morgana despised Haifeng. What is a demon? Drink the strongest wine. Drive the fastest ship. Fry the hardest planet. Do whatever you want. This is the devil. Queen, I feel this Yifeng is a bit weird. Do you think he has something to do with Carl? Haifeng looked at Morgana meaningfully and said, otherwise, why did Carl just tell us that he has a warrior here? Is the night wind coming? Haifeng was born in the giant wolf civilization of the Styx. Carl used to be his main god. But, because Kuroka doesn't like smelling his god Carl's farts. So, Black Wind betrayed Carl. And always held hostility to Carl. Ah, your idea is really immature. Morgana was stunned for a moment, and then she said indifferently, Carl is just a DOC. In the past, when my mother wore less clothes, he looked like Yuhi. How dare he dare calculate me? Morgana smiled. Carl had a crush on Morgana when he was a teenager. At that time, she will also deliberately pick on Carl. For example, the collar is opened a little lower. Carl dared not look at her. Will such a big boy plot against his goddess? I can't. It doesn't matter, let's go and have a look first. Morgana shook her head and put these immature thoughts behind her. Demon. Doubt nothing without thinking too much. Just face it. Then, Morgana's voice fell. Wings spread high behind. In an instant, it flew in front of Yifeng. Huh, why are you here? Yifeng was a little confused when he saw Morgana. Could it be that he was stalked by Morgana? Why am I here? What do I want to ask you? What are you doing here? Morgana looked at Yifeng thoughtfully, and indeed felt that Yifeng was not quite right. I'm doing yoga here, can't you see it? Yifeng pursed his lips and pointed to his soft body. No way. This time, the Pit Father's sign in task requires him to do yoga sign in here. He was forced to act like this. Yoga _______. You know what, it's called piety. I came here to do yoga on purpose. Yifeng looked at Morgana seriously. Believe it or not. Anyway, he definitely doesn't believe it himself. Chapter 311 God-killing power. Huh. Morgana suddenly felt a little stunned. Pious. Is the origin of yoga in Egypt? She doesn't seem to remember clearly. By the way, what are you doing here again? Yifeng asked while Morgana hadn't reacted yet. I can do whatever I want. Morgana said with Tsunere on her waist. I'm not bragging to you, the whole Silver River system, my devil will go wherever he wants. Quote. Yifeng pondered for a while. Although he really wanted to slap Morgana on the spot, he really couldn't refute them. Morgana has a top ship like Demon One, and she also has a Grandmaster wormhole calculation, so she can go wherever she wants to go in the Silver River system. It didn't take long. Rushed to the top of the Matsuri altar with the white-robed old Matsuri. Seeing that the atmosphere at the scene was a little strange, Haifeng asked cautiously, Queen, are you all right? Damn, what can we do, are you a fool? Morgana glanced at Haifeng, and her eyes fell on the local white-robed Matsuri priest, and asked, tell me about the situation of this Matsuri altar. Robed old Matsuri heard Morgana's order and quickly stepped forward and said respectfully. Respected Demon Queen, according to the information left by the Great Matsuri Division of the past, there is a very terrifying monster under seal, which must have a history of at least 1,000 years. Shown her powers to the white-robed Matsuri priest. Successfully gained his loyalty. Thus, it is also convenient for Morgana to preach in Egypt in the future. 1,000 years is too embarrassing to be called history, you Matsuri priests are so funny. Yifeng shook his head. He still has 3 minutes to complete his sign-in. So, he had to delay for a while. Hee. Yes, Yifeng, are you the roundworm in my stomach? I was about to say that, but you said it first. Morgana glanced at Yifeng with interest. She felt that she really liked Yifeng more and more. But, Yifeng was not happy when he heard this. I said Morgana, let's talk about something, is it okay to swear? Yifeng looked at Morgana with a frown while maintaining a sassy yoga pose. Roundworms. Where is that? Isn't this a proper insult? Anyway, Morgana had already been projected into his system by Yifeng. Favoriteness doesn't matter anymore. So, that's it. Queen, I think we should hurry up and get down to business. Haifeng quickly reminded him when he saw that his queen seemed to be going crazy again. Just an ugly earthling. What are we talking about with him? HMPH, all right. Morgana comforted her two mountains and calmed them down first, then looked at the white robe and asked, do you know how to unlock the seal here? I do know, the white-robed Matsuri priest said with a hesitant expression. The great Matsuri priests of all dynasties did leave a way to break the seal, but... The queen said. As long as he can help the queen release the big monster under the Matsuri altar. The queen let him regain his youth. Find him more than a dozen powerful girlfriends. But... There are ways though. He also wanted to do the same. But he doesn't have that ability either. What can I do? Can you make it clearer? Morgana frowned. She especially hates this kind of guy who doesn't speak completely. Exactly. One day, with a knife in hand, I will cut off all the dogs in the world. This is no joke. Queen back. If you want to unlock the seal here, you have to find a few artifacts first. The white-robed Matsuri said with a bitter face. He understands the reason. But he really can't find the artifact. Artifact? What the hell? Morgana raised her brows. The three artifacts are God's golden comb, Kunpeng's green feather, and the Black Knight's sword, and then a mysterious and tongue-in-cheek incantation is required to open the seal. Robed Matsuri priest said seriously how to lift the seal. But, not to mention that the three artifacts are simply nowhere to be found. He didn't even know how to recite the spell alone. Hard to do. Are my future girlfriends going to lose their happiness? What are you talking about? I feel a little dizzy when I hear it. Yifeng shook his head, and changed a new posture according to the system's prompt, saying, I think you are creating something out of nothing, darkness Chen imagination and fabrication. Yifeng said a series of idioms in one breath. He spoke for a full minute and a half. Everyone was dumbfounded. But Yifeng is not pretending to be mysterious. This is to drag the system to complete the check-in. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the sign-in and getting the reward, God-Killing Power. God-Killing Power, a passive skill that allows the host to counteract the special defense ability of the target god. That is to say, similar to the meaning of true damage. So, Yifeng's skills are back online. Okay. Stop talking here, do you think you're talking about crosstalk? Morgana glanced at Yifeng speechlessly. Then, she walked to the center of the Matsuri altar. Take a look. What kind of mess is it all about? God's golden comb. It's so shaky. Don't my demon queen's diamond chopsticks have no cards at all? Morgana snorted coldly. Subsequently, she glanced at the black wind. Haifeng. Give me an analysis of what's going on with the seal here. Good. Haifeng took out the Ying Bang Bang object from his crotch again. Press the power button. The device establishes a connection with Demon 1. Then, Kai Shikai analyzed the data of the entire Matsuri altar. Queen, I've checked it out. About 2,600 meters below the Matsuri altar, there is indeed a creature with a giant gene of the Styx civilization. Carl didn't lie to the queen. Haifeng said excitedly. Bullshit, I told you that Carl didn't dare to lie to the queen. Morgana Tsunere smiled, then looked at Yifeng and said, Yifeng, queen, let me tell you clearly, there is one below that belongs to the queen. Fighters, do you Earth Super Seminary want to stop the queen from unlocking his seal? Facing Morgana's question, Nightwind shrugged. Put on a look that doesn't matter at all. I came out this time just to do yoga. It's vacation time, that is, private time, so don't come to me for business like this. Yifeng finished his seductive yoga move. Stand up from the ground. Isn't that a big baron? Although the guy is huge. But he was just a jerk. How about letting it go? Oh, yes, queen, I like an employee like you. Morgana smiled. Chapter 312 _ Big Baron. Isn't that 2,600 meters? Haifeng, blow it up for me. Morgana gave an incomparably heroic command. That's not possible. Blast the big pit at a depth of 2,600 meters. The movement is too big, and it's easy to expose our target. Haifeng explained with a bitter face. And Carl seems to have used some deep hypnotic tricks, and it's useless to just dig him out of the ground. Break through the bottom 2,600 meters. This is not a simple matter of punching a hole. I want to dig a sealed space underground. That must use high-end weapons. It is bound to let the angels discover the whereabouts of the devil. Deep hypnosis. It seems that I have to take the queen personally. Morgana Tsunere smiled and said, "You guys are very optimistic. I will release the queen." Generally speaking, Morgana doesn't really like to do everything herself. She is the queen after all. It's enough to move your lips. But in front of Yifeng, an outsider, Morgana felt that she had to pretend to be a force for Yifeng to see. At this time, White Robe Matsuri kindly reminded, "Queen, if you want to let him out, you still need God's comb. But we don't have it either." "Whose comb?" Morgana sneered. "God's," the white-robed Matsuri priest replied weakly. "Ha ha ha, you will remember it to me in the future. I, Morgana, are your gods." Morgana laughed and then ordered, "Haifeng, show me what the hell it is." Yes. Kurokaze opened his crotch again. After completing a series of fierce operations, the result is out. "Queen, the so-called artifacts are nothing more than a few wormhole transport codes. You are an expert in time and space, and cracking a wormhole code is a piece of cake." Haifeng Jia smiled. "Play wormholes in front of demons, show flair in front of angels, and fart in front of Carl. These are the three most ridiculous things in the universe. Wormhole password. Simple." Morgana glanced at Yifeng while pinching her waist, and said, "Yifeng, keep your eyes wide open, the queen is about to start performing." "Then, please start your performance." Yifeng shrugged. Immediately after, Morgana's eyes suddenly turned white. The Eye of Insight opens. It didn't take long. Morgana really easily cracked the wormhole code of Carl's sealing technique. "Fog grass, there is actually a password here. This Carl's accomplishments in time and space are probably no weaker than mine." Morgana frowned. She has been busy following the pursuit of evading angels all these years. The growth rate has slowed down significantly. And Carl's time and space technology 1,000 years ago has been so mature. No wonder he dared to fight Geisha's idea now. "Is your performance over? Can you break the seal?" Yifeng asked aside. "What are you in a hurry for?" Morgana glared at Yifeng. "I'll take a look at Aang." "Understood." A special wormhole corridor is designed above the Matsuri altar, and it is necessary to read the specified sound wave information to make it work. After the corresponding wormhole password is detected in the wormhole corridor, the stupid hat in the ground can be transported out. I'll just say, what spell, what rune? Duo's special code is based on technology, okay. Morgana laughed heartily. But her smile made Yifeng feel a little dizzy. Morgana not only does not lose to Tsunade in terms of specifications, but also seems to have more flexibility than them. The smile moved, and the smile shook. It's really unbearable. After Morgana cracked the spell, according to the prompt, she read out the sonic code that was analyzed. 15 is 5, 25 and 10, 35 and 15. Subsequently, entire Matsuri altar shook violently. A burst of Yuhi light flashed. Next up, grim-faced, huge, Big Burin, who was still burning with terrifying flames, appeared in the center of the Matsuri altar. "Who? Wake me up. Is that you, an earthling who looks ugly but tastes delicious?" After Big Burin appeared, he immediately opened his kiba and roared towards Yifeng. To this, uncles can't stand aunts and aunts can't stand it. So ever. Yifeng decisively took the kidney in his hand and arranged it. Have to say, the energy in Yifeng's body was originally boundless, but now he has the power to kill gods. Countless wind blades instantly shattered and shrouded Big Baron. Ah, ah, ah. Big Baron let out a howl of pain. Then fell to the ground. The scene became awkward in an instant. Queen, I just forgot to monitor. Is this guy really a divine body? Could it be Carl fooling you? Is it because it has been sealed for too long and has degenerated? Haifeng frowned his brows that didn't exist before. Since it is said to be the second generation of gods, shouldn't it be so weak? Morgana also frowned and stared at Yifeng. What's the matter with you? Queen, I just found a powerful warrior, and you killed me. Do you have to pay me? Although Morgana also felt that Big Baron was a bit ordinary. But she managed to go out and operate it herself for a long time. Can't just give it a second, can it? Is my demon queen shameless? There's no way. I'm naturally a bit resistant to ugly things, and as you can see, he yelled at me as soon as he popped out. I just reacted instinctively, Yifeng said. At the same time, he glanced at the black wind. Sure enough, Yifeng couldn't achieve the aesthetics that crossed the race. Come on. If you don't like him looking at him, then why don't you just teach him a lesson? Is it necessary to hammer him to death? Morgana glanced at Yifeng angrily. This Big Baron is just a country boy. It is said that he was sealed here by Carl before he had seen the world. Originally, she wanted to train him well. It's okay now. See the light to die. There is not even a chance to tune and teach. Then what do you say? I killed them anyway, how do you want me to compensate you? Meat sausages. Yifeng put on a look like a handsome man who was not afraid of boiling water. You. Morgana thought about it. Indeed. To kill is to kill. Morgana is not a person who likes to be more serious. After all, she has nothing to do with Big Baron. It's nothing to die. As for letting Yifeng sausage, he thought it was beautiful. Well, I plan to spread the belief of demons on Earth recently. You happen to be an Earth person. In order to make it easier for my partner to accept me, you can just accompany me on a trip. Morgana thought seriously say it at once. Chapter 313_I, Morgana, would like to call Washa the strongest. Morgana has been very active on Earth recently. Although the development of civilization on Earth is very slow. But Morgana was very pleased with the atmosphere on Earth. She felt that people on Earth would enjoy life very much. This rhythm made her feel very comfortable. So, she really intends to make her home on Earth. But it is not an easy thing to spread the idea of demons on Earth. If Yifeng can help her, that is of course the best thing to do. Preaching together, that's okay. Anyway, I have nothing to do when I'm idle recently. Yifeng said nonchalantly. He had promised Dukao to stare at Morgana himself. But after all, his friendship with Morgana is not too deep. It is not appropriate to go to her directly. But now it's different. Now that Morgana took the initiative to deliver it to the door, Yifeng has no reason to refuse. Then, Morgana and Yifeng began their missionary journey. The first stop was a small Guojia in Africa. Queen. I heard that this Guojia's people can't eat anymore, but the food and wine in their leader's house are often spoiled and thrown away because they can't finish it. Such people should be very suitable to become demons. Demon Blackwind follows Morgana and offers his valuable advice. Okay, make arrangements. Morgana waved her hand. Then, an hour later, Morgana and Yifeng walked out of the office of the leader of this small country with a large box of diamonds. It's so irritating. How can a dignified leader of Guojia have such a small wish? Morgana came out angrily. Obviously, she was very dissatisfied with the meeting just now. Is it small? Actually, you can't blame them. Yifeng shrugged and said indifferently, you brought diamonds to give them money and wanted to seek cooperation, while laughing at them for their pursuit of wealth. It's weird to slap you. Fuck me. So, that's why he said he wanted to leave some liquid in the old lady's body. Is this the etiquette of your earthlings? Morgana's eyes sank slightly. If it weren't for Morgana's fear of making a bad first impression on other collaborators. I don't want to be too ruthless as soon as I come up. She would definitely let Haifeng blow up their Guo Jadu into Momo. After all, is the queen the one who can be crooked if you want? Only good people can crook the queen. Calm down. To put it bluntly, China is the only country in the world with etiquette. When you deal with other barbarians, don't expect to be treated with courtesy. Yifeng said lightly. China is the state of etiquette. This is obvious to all. No problem. That's a lot of work. Next. Then. Morgana went to a lot of small guojia with Yifeng. Such a guojia has an advantage. That is to pay them to serve. Morgana declared. As long as they are willing to cooperate with Morgana, they are willing to help Morgana promote the idea of demons in their own country. Morgana will give them a lot of diamonds. After all, something like a diamond. Her demon one can be easily synthesized. And it's more natural than what looks natural on Earth. But after a long turn, there are not many guojia who are really willing to cooperate with Morgana. To be honest, if it is true that according to what Morgana said, let the common people release their nature and pursue freedom, how can they manage it? So, Yifeng and Morgana struggled for a week. Finally, Morgana decided to give up. Night Wind. What the hell is going on with you people on Earth? Making them demons will not only give them power, but immortality as well. But they only have money, power, and girls on their minds. Morgana complained cursingly. Sister Qian Quan and Yangsheng are completely incomparable, right? Could it be that the brains of the people on Earth were kicked by the Black Wind? Actually, you can't blame the people on Earth. After all, your idea of degenerate freedom sounds like a bad guy, and the bad reputation of the devil is justified, Yifeng said. Freedom is a good thing. But if you have to add a fallen attribute, the taste has changed. Bad people. The warriors of my demon army are not bad people, Morgana immediately retorted. Although Otto and the others are long and ferocious. But the demon army is very harmonious inside. Everyone is like brothers. Even a minion can talk and laugh with Morgana. Could such a demon be bad? The reason why everyone has a prejudice against the devil. That's all Guy Shaman's universe defines the devil. To be honest, everyone's civilization is not the same. Although the three views are different. But the crazy things that many people on Earth do, the devil is absolutely disdain to do. Let's go, don't think about these things for now. Anyway, you demons have a long life, so take your time. I'll take you to relax first. Yifeng twisted his neck. He's been with Morgana these days. Obviously a bit overworked. Relax. How to relax? Don't know how to fly a plane in front of me all day long. I don't have an airport, and the plane will definitely crash when it falls. Morgana glanced at Yifeng speechlessly. Have to say, Huaxia is really a place of outstanding personalities. Say nothing else. This one is rich in old drivers. Throughout the universe. Morgana, would like to call Huaxia the strongest. ... Chinese people. Familiar technician. Familiar taste. God of wealth, you haven't come to take care of our business for a long time. The female technician Xiaoyi said with a slightly complaining smile. But the beauty that God of wealth brought this time looks more beautiful than the one last time. The female technician Zhaofeng laughed and teased. What's the use of being pretty, at most 87 points. Yifeng smiled indifferently. In fact, it really needs to be said. Morgana and Angel Yan are comparable in appearance. Maybe different people have different tastes. But for Yifeng, it's better if angels and demons come together. That's what makes it interesting. Your technique is great, I like the queen very much. Morgana said with a comfortable face, lying on her stomach. Queen, hee hee, the god of wealth brought an angel last time, but this time he brought the queen. Xiaoyi covered his mouth and laughed again. The rich people just know how to play. Zhao Feng also smiled. A handsome and rich man like Yi Feng, who can play, and is very easygoing. They are really rare. Angel. Morgana turned her head to look at Yi Feng and said, could it be Angel Yan they are talking about? She even came to a place like this with you. Morgana was surprised. It's just that her demon queen came here to relax. Angel Yan's white lotus flower with thick eyebrows and big eyes will also come. Can't it? Chapter 314_Experience Life. What do you mean by that? What's wrong with this place? Yi Feng gave Morgana a disdainful look. He found that many people would think that places like Huasha are tricky. But actually, it's just a place to collect money. Other technicians are also upright and earn money by their abilities. Live well. Just give more money. This is normal too. Yi Feng would never look at them with tinted glasses. After all, glasses can affect your vision. Okay, I won't talk nonsense with you. Morgana shook her head, glanced meaningfully at Xiaoyi and Zhao Feng in front of her and asked, you two have been doing this for a long time, have you ever thought about it? Do something more meaningful. Morgana's principles have always been simple. Since you serve well, then the queen can give you some rewards. As for rewards, naturally, it is their demon's demon gene. A more meaningful thing. What kind of thing? Xiaoyi said. Isn't what we are doing now meaningful? Zhao Feng said. Xiaoyi and Zhao Feng looked at each other. Then, they smiled knowingly. They provide paid services to customers. Make guests comfortable. Isn't that meaningful enough? Does that count as meaningful? Morgana shook her head. Well, for the sake of how comfortable you are with serving the queen, I will give you a chance to say one of your greatest wishes, and I will help you realize it. Morgana said lightly. She has made up her mind. Let these two little girls understand what is the real meaning. But, Xiaoyi and Zhao Feng laughed indifferently after hearing Morgana's words. They are service staff. Since guests like to play cosplayer, then they will cooperate. If you wish, it should be to make more money. It is best to become a traffic star, then you will no longer have to work so hard, and you will not need to learn professional skills. I'm also a shaman, and I also hope that one day I can stand in front of the reporter's camera and say loudly, I have no interest in money at all. After Xiaoyi and Zhao Feng finished talking, the two giggled. Money. It is their greatest wish. That's it. Money. Isn't money the easiest thing on earth to get? Your wish is too small. Morgana shook her head. The corners of her mouth raised her signature evil smile. Within a month, you'll find that your stars will be paperless and meaningless. The same goes for money. So you don't have more practical wishes. It won't take long for the gluttonous army to launch a general attack on the earth. Wait until then. The order of the earth will be completely rewritten. Stars will only be reduced to gluttonous souls. Nothing. What? Celebrities and money are worthless. Then we're going to die if we do massages. That's right, other people's stars still have good looks. If they change careers and do ours, they will definitely be the top card. The two did not believe the truth that Morgana said at all. So, he covered his mouth and laughed again. You two, you must seize the opportunity. This is the Devil Queen. Maybe she is happy and develops a devil gene with human characteristics for you. It will be immortal. Yi Feng smiled indifferently. Road. Morgana's demons are ugly. That's because her demon genes were developed from the Kunsa people. Therefore, it does not conform to the aesthetics of human beings on Earth. But, wouldn't it be okay if all the demons looked like Earth people? Ah, demon, it sounds scary. Yes, you'd better give us a little more tip when you leave. Xiaoyi and Zhao Feng suddenly felt that they were playing a bit too much. It's better that they don't intervene. After the massage, Yi Feng took Morgana to feel the quintessence of China. Have to say, although this simple permutation is very low level, but When Morgana didn't use the creature engine to analyze the cards, she found that playing mahjong was still fun. And then, Yifeng brought Morgana to the barbecue stall. Although it doesn't look elegant, but it tastes good. Speaking of which, you Earthlings are really weird. You are all trying hard to pursue material things. Can matter solve the life, aging, sickness and death of people on Earth? Even if you are rich and powerful, if you encounter a disease that cannot be solved by Earth technology, don't you still have to be cool? And after becoming a demon, they obviously have a chance to gain longevity, but they all choose not to. Stupid hat. Morgana sighed with emotion while laughing. It's easy to turn bad guys into demons. After all, the bad guys are after a kind of depraved freedom. But in this universe, after all, there are still many good people. And Morgana's demon concept only advocates everyone to pursue nature. It's not about making everyone evil. So, turning good people into demons has long been a problem for Morgana. Who can you blame for this? You know that the mainstream of the universe is the Kamigawa body, but you have made the devil look so touching. It's not easy for you to develop until now. Yifeng put a roasting horse buyu gushed into his mouth. Che, it's easy for you to say, the idea of demons is not limited to civilized races. In other words, the demon genes I developed need to be able to fuse with the genes of all races. In this regard, Kunsa's basic gene template has a great advantage. Morgana said slowly. Gene fusion technology is not a unified technology of the whole universe. For example, normally, only creatures with angel genes in their bodies can use the super genes of angels. The same goes for Sun and Dino. But Morgana's demon genes are different. Devil genes don't need to care what the host's ontology genes are at all. As long as Morgana wants to, she can transform the opponent into a demon warrior. That's the devil's advantage. It's a match for plug and play. I heard Laudu say that the genes of the Earthlings are also very expandable. Can't you use the Earthlings as the blueprint to create some super genes of the devil? Yifeng asked. Beauty is justice. How could Morgana not understand such a simple truth? Look at the angels. Of them are beautiful and sexy little sisters. So, there are many people who worship angels. Look at the devil again. That Haifeng is estimated to have been regarded as the most handsome in the devil. How can this work? Just imagine. If all the demons under Morgana's hands were as handsome as someone else. You see if his devil is popular. Chapter 315 _ Take you to dance. In the world of Super Seminary, the genetic enhancement route is king. No matter whether the major civilizations are advanced or not, once they have a certain scientific basis, they will start to research and develop genes. But the development of genetic modification projects on Earth is extremely slow today. Because of the existence of Dukao, Washa is now the top tyrant on Earth. However, under the guidance of Dukao, Washa focused more on the exploitation of dark energy. Opposite North America, although the genetic modification project is slightly better than Washa, created a bunch of genetically mutated super soldiers. But it's just that level. Earth people's genetic expansion is indeed very high, but this kind of Earth people is called passive acceptance. That is to say, no matter which civilization's super gene is, it is easy to graft into the genetic sequence of human beings on Earth. But this is different from Kunsa, where Kunsa's demon genes are exactly the opposite of Earth's human genes. One male and one female. So you understand. Morgana is a bit circumspect. But she believes that all outstanding handsome ratios will definitely be able to understand her explanation just now. Actually, there are many civilizations that are genetically similar to Earth in this universe. Generally speaking, such a civilization will be scrambled by the major civilizations around it. But the Earth now not only has the sticks and the blazing sun hitting the bodies of the people on Earth. Angels and demons also came in secretly to start the game. So, Those other civilizations would definitely not dare to step in and get a piece of the pie. But these few super civilizations are probably enough for the people of the earth to drink a pot. Are you full? If you are full, I'll take you to dance. The night wind dried up the wine in the glass. The next entertainment project is proposed. Bungie. What is that? Morgana asked in a dazed way. Why do you ask so many questions? Go with me anyway, and you're done. Yifeng spread his hands. 3 joys in life. Drink the strongest wine, dance the wildest and push the hottest girl. Don't ask. Liver will do. Okay, let's go. What am I afraid of as a demon queen? Morgana smiled evilly. Isn't it just jumping? The experience is also very good. Then, the two left the late-night barbecue stall and walked into a disco together. As soon as you enter, Morgana suddenly felt that she was hit by the deafening music. But, although the music made her feel a little unaccustomed, but her body began to twist naturally with the rhythm. This is probably the so-called music without borders. Yifeng, I found that you earthlings really understand life. Massage, eat barbecue, and dance again. These little days are very enjoyable, haha. Morgana laughed, imitating the dancing postures of the bewitching women in the center of the dance floor. Rubbing back and forth in front of the night wind. Seems to be enjoying it. Now understand why people on Earth like money so much. To enjoy life, you must have money. Yifeng said. But the money will be useless soon. Morgana twisted indifferently. The chaos will end and everything will return to calm, so I suggest you just play on Earth. Don't make too many crooked ideas, or I'll be spanked. Snapped. Yifeng said that he actually slapped Morgana's pie stock. This surprised Morgana. She's an old girl who's lived so many eternals. I was actually taken advantage of by an earthling today. No. The old lady wants to take it back. Then, the two showers swayed up and down in the middle of the dance floor. Take advantage of each other. This is really envious of the people around. After all, whether it's Yifeng or Morgana, the looks are very high. That kind of swing is really eye-catching. That's it. The two danced in the disco for 3 hours before they left here contentedly. Night wind. I have to say that I am still very happy with you, Queen, during this time. But I won't give up the Earth easily. I love it here. I want to make my home on Earth. The universe number eternal. She has descended upon countless civilizations. Some civilizations are relatively backward, and may still be drilling wood to make fire. Some civilizations are more advanced, and may have already fully controlled the stellar energy in their own galaxy. But, whether it is backward or advanced, it was the first time Morgana had encountered a place as interesting as Earth. The style of human civilization here is incompatible with the entire universe. But, Morgana had to admit it again. Even if she is a god who can live forever, she feels that life on Earth is very exciting. So, she wants to make a home on Earth. It's not impossible if you want to stay. If you preach normally, it's fine, but if you want to forcibly turn humans into demons, don't blame me for spanking. Nightwind shrugged. Anyway, with the gluttonous invasion, Earth civilization has been completely exposed to the universe. Although Yifeng felt that he should have the power to fight against the main gods of the major super civilizations in a short time. But Earth is too fragile. The solar system is too fragile. There are hundreds of billions of stars in the Silver River system. Means that there are hundreds of billions of galaxies similar to the solar system in the Silver River system. And in the universe, like the Silver River system, are equally numerous. So, a normal civilization must first go through overall technological progress, and then evolve to a god-creating civilization, and then a main god emerges. Only such a civilization can have the power to protect its own planet and galaxy. And the night wind is getting stronger. Even if he can rub against Geisha in the future. But it is difficult to protect the safety of this solar system. Because The strength of one person does not represent the strength of the entire civilization. It's as if the average income of the people does not represent the income of a certain poji writer. ... After Morgana returned to Demon 1. She recalled Yi Feng's words carefully. Lost in thought. Although the effect of the Overlord hard bow is obvious, that kid is right. If the devil wants to develop in the long run, it still needs to be recognized by more civilizations. Morgana has had 4 generations of gods. Karl is also plotting to kill Geisha. So, Morgana felt that the future of demons should be bright. She has to make the transition well in advance. Otherwise, wait for the angel to die. The good thing is that they are all divided up by Styx and Liang. The devil will lose a lot. Haifeng, how can we make humans fear our demons from the bottom of their hearts and become the queen's warriors willingly? Morgana asked her first wise man, Haifeng. Simple, Queen. Haifeng stopped his work, smiled and said, Earth is now only a pre-nuclear civilization. Their thinking and consciousness are always limited within the framework of pre-nuclear civilization. Naturally they cannot understand as the idea of the cosmic latitude of the devil. Chapter 316 Second batch of members of the soldier company. Generally speaking, a normal civilization with a technology tree and a certain bottleneck is bound to break out into a nuclear-scale war. And civilizations that have experienced global nuclear baptism can step into post-nuclear civilizations. In the world of Super Seminary, whether a civilization has undergone nuclear baptism is a watershed in the division of civilizations. The worldview of post-nuclear civilization and pre-nuclear civilization is completely different. It is also the best stage for various divine civilizations to gain belief. Do you want me to give Earth a nuclear baptism? Morgana frowned. Although at the level of the devil, it is easy to nucleate Earth's civilization. But demons don't have low-end weapons like nuclear weapons. If they want to launch a baptism above the nuclear level, they must use large-scale weapons, such as the bombing of the Scourge. But the large-scale weapons of Demon 1 have long been marked by the angels. Once the devil shot, angels will surely discover the location of Demon 1. Thus, the devil can only give up the Earth. Morgana's original intention was to get the Earth, but after the nuclear level, she was forced to leave the Earth. Isn't that stupid hat? Actually, the Earth has enough nuclear weapons, and they have come up with a nuclear bundle bang strategy. So we just need to borrow the hands of the people of the Earth and blow up Guojia within the range of the nuclear bundle. Won't the Earth be nuclear baptized in advance? Black Wind Jia smiled. Come up with a crazy idea. That's not good. I like the customs of the Earth very much. It can't be completely ruined. Morgana shook her head. She has leveled many civilizations. Ben is not an indecisive character. But how could a civilization as interesting as Earth be destroyed so easily? Especially Huaxia. Who dares to destroy Huaxia? My demon will be killed even if I am far away. This is... Haifeng frowned his non-existent brows. Subsequently, his little Yuhi rolled his eyes and said with a grin. There is also a way. We can carry out regional strikes against certain areas outside the nuclear bundle. But we still have to use the guise of the hands of the nuclear-armed Guojia of Earth civilization. Regional attack. Morgana held up a glass of Qingshan beer from 1982, and said with a smile, I think Guojia who wants to leave liquid in my body is very suitable. No problem. Then I'll make arrangements now. Haifeng asked. Go, do it beautifully. The queen is going on vacation first. Morgana stretched her waist, lamenting that she has a subordinate like Haifeng, which is really a blessing that she has cultivated in 3 lifetimes. After half an hour. North America. White House. Office of the President. The President of North America, Balump, who is over 70 years old, stared solemnly at the holographic image that suddenly appeared on his desk, and couldn't help falling into contemplation. This ugly-looking monster actually calls itself a devil. Also said that the devil wants to borrow a nuclear bomb from North America. Isn't this a joke? He rubbed his eyebrows. Now that gluttony is rampant in North America, this has already made Balump's heart very heavy. What kind of demon civilization has appeared now? What the hell is this? But Balump suddenly seemed to have figured out something. His eyes lit up. The sadness on his face disappeared instantly. That's right. This must be fake news. As long as I don't believe anything, no one can hurt me. Just Chan. Tilde 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 tilde. But, for the sake of safety, Balump still made a phone call and ordered, Nick Fury, come and see me immediately. ... China. Shangbing Company Training Base. Yifeng looked at the troops of the Shangbing Company and remained silent. The girls were still very reserved and did not break the 80-point mark. But Yifeng is not particularly anxious now. To be honest. After Yifeng obtained the power to kill God, he felt that he was almost done again. It doesn't matter if he gets the abilities of the girls later. It's just that Yifeng was not satisfied with the performance of the four scumbags. Xin Zhao out. Yifeng gave Xin Zhao a meaningful look. What's the matter, Lord Feng? What do you want to do? Xin Zhao walked out of the group with a timid look on his face. At the same time, Xin Zhao's favorability towards Yifeng instantly dropped by 2 points. I am Mudma. Seeing this, Yifeng's anger in his heart stopped. But Yifeng was able to gather 5 projections as soon as possible. He decided to endure. This new one I made is called Lightning Halberd. It is a high-tech product. It is much more powerful than your Dexing gun. I have authorized you the right to use it. I will use it in the future. Lightning Halberd. What high-tech is this? Xin Zhao took the lightning halberd from Yifeng's hand with a bewildered expression. The moment he got the lightning halberd, the biological gene engine in the body instantly obtained the right to use the lightning halberd. Then, Xin Zhao clenched his hands. A thunderous power immediately lingered around him. Forced to get up all of a sudden. This, Lord Xin, it's going to be a day. Zhe Xiaolun showed an envious look. Although Dukao told Zhe Xiaolun that the great sword in his hand was the top weapon in the universe. But Zhe Xiaolun always felt that Dukao was fooling him. After all, every time he took out his big sword for training, he could read a look of disdain in Yifeng's eyes. It's like this big sword can be broken if it is broken. Can't understand why. Master Feng, what about us? You can't favor one over another. Lu Chuang shook the big axe in his hand and said very enviously. Although everyone said that he cut God very reliable. But he never cut it. Can't kill God. He was just an ordinary black axe. It feels like enough. Yifeng gave Lu Chuang a vicious look. Anyway, he has already obtained the power of killing gods by signing in. There is no need to maintain Lu Chuang's favorability anymore. It's time for revenge. Can you compare to Xin Zhao? Look at Xin Zhao, handsome and suave, he is second only to me in this heroic company. Look at you again. Big 5 and 3 rough, with a sullen look on his face. At first glance, he looks like a mixed society. Run around the training ground first 537,819,336. Circle, if you can't finish the run, you're not allowed to eat today. Now. Yifeng finally revealed his true face. This made Lu Chuang's favorability to him drop by 5 points instantly. However, Xin Zhao's favorability rating actually exceeded 80. This moment, Yifeng seemed to suddenly understand something. This is the role of comparison. Why can't those 3 girls break through 80 all the time? Maybe it's because Yifeng is equally good to them. So they are jealous. Woman. It's really too complicated. ... After a while, Dukao suddenly called Yifeng and Reina to the command center again. Then, Dukao wants to breed Dino super genes on Earth. But Lai Young also stepped in. They proposed that if Dukao wanted to stay on Earth, an activation system must be implanted in Dino's super gene. That is, the hand of the sun must be used to make Dino's super gene effective. Now, it's time to activate the remaining warriors of the Hero Company. Chapter 317 Night Blind Date. Reina, if you count the days, you should be able to activate the remaining warriors, right? Dukao looked at Reina and asked. Well, the skill cooldown has been restored, do I need to activate them now? Lena asked. No, I want to recruit them first, and then activate the gene. Dukao said. The structure of the Earth today is different from what it used to be. When Reina activated Jie Xiaolun and the others, the Earth was still in an era of peace after all. But now, gluttonous global invasion. If the remaining fighters suddenly find themselves with superpowers, it is very likely that it will become floating. Bad management. At this time, Yifeng interrupted and asked. Wait, what do you mean? Although Reina can activate those super genes of Denuo, but this ability has a cooling effect. Is this setting so pitiful? Yes, otherwise I will activate them all for the first time, so what batches are there? Reina turned to Byakugan and said. Although she is also very dissatisfied with the setting of this function. But no way. Fate is so random. Yefeng, there are a total of 4 fighters activated this time. This is their list. Take a look. Dukao asked Lianfeng to open a page on the computer screen. Then, the photos of 4 beautiful girls online appeared in front of Yifeng. Swordheim Li Feifei. Night Hunter Wei Ying. Nuoxing Sharp Knife Rui Mengmeng. Fighting Master He Weilan. By the way, we also found a half-orc named Ari, who is also on the recruiting list this time. Dukao looked at Yifeng meaningfully. Teach 5 beautiful girls to Yifeng to recruit. He was relieved. You can, Lao Du, this time it's all girls. And they're not bad looking. Yifeng rubbed his chin. In the original anime, because of the cost of these supporting roles, the models are not so perfect. But, in this real super seminary world, these girls are all very watery. Yefeng, what are you trying to do? Your eyes are straight. Lena glared at Yefeng, feeling a little uncomfortable in her heart. Are the 3 of us not enough for you to see? Still want to play the newbie idea? Do you want to engage in a Shira field? This is normal, men have the right to like beautiful things, and besides, I'm not messing around with anything, I'm just appreciating it, isn't it? Yifeng shrugged indifferently. He has been in this world for 300 years. Up to now, he has never pushed a girl. Already very decent, Kunzi. What do you still want? That, let's get down to business first. Dukao coughed lightly, cut in his mouth, and said, Yefeng, because everyone has been busy recently, you may still have to invite a few of them. Join the company of men. Now, the gluttonous fleet is getting closer and closer to the solar system. The entire super seminary was busy dealing with this. So, compare. Or Night Wind is more free. After all, in addition to playing games, he is a girl. Yes, just leave this task to me. I will definitely bring them back intact. Yifeng said his promise. Although this task affected his normal life. But, after all, he is the instructor of the Shangbing Company. It must be his duty to guide these new players into the team. Definitely not because the new players are all girls. Humph. Why do you always feel that there is something wrong with your words? Yifeng, don't mess around. Lena glared at Yifeng. This guy 10 fish. How could he so readily agree to Dukao's request today? No crooked ideas. She, Lena, doesn't believe it. ... Juxia City. Monthly Buck Cafe Flagship Store Number 18. My name is Li Feifei. I am 26 years old, 175 in height, graduated with a master's degree in management from Juxia University, with an annual income of 200,000 plus. I can tell you very clearly that this blind date I just came to go through the process and deal with the arrangements at home. Feifei Li is tall and graceful. She sat generously opposite Yi Feng. Straight to the point, she stated her purpose directly. That's right. This blind date was secretly arranged by Yi Feng with Dukao. The reason is, since the other party is on a blind date recently, that Yi Feng used this method to contact her, maybe it could bring some distance closer. My name is Yi Feng. Maybe a little older than you. Height 185, _. I don't have a high degree of education and I don't have an annual income. I actually came here to go through the process. Li Feifei up and down with admiring eyes. She was probably wearing a work outfit. Stockings packed ton. Short skirt Keegan. It looks very eye-catching. You also go through the process. Li Feifei shook her head and smiled. Yes, you can only go through the process. A man with neither education nor income dating a goddess like her. What else can I do other than go through the process? Are you going to roll the Chuang list? Just because you are handsome. She didn't come to find ducks. Okay, then let's officially start. Li Feifei smiled and asked politely. The first question, do you smoke and drink? I don't smoke cigarettes, Yi Feng said, taking a delicate portable bottle from his waist, and pouring the wine into the coffee cup, but wine is indispensable to me. Yi Feng's past life and his past life liked to drink. The kind that can never be changed. No one can say. Since you still choose to drink at this time, it means you definitely don't have a car, right? Feifei Li smiled nonchalantly. Drink and don't drive. Don't drink while driving. Since you have to drink a sip when you are on a blind date. It was probably a crowded bus. I do have a car, and I know I can't drive if I drink, but I can just carry it back, I'm used to it. Yi Feng also smiled nonchalantly. Although we beep. But the basic principles still have to be followed. Just like that monkey. At every turn, drive the car out and carry it back. No one could say anything more. Carry the car back. Then your car doesn't seem to have the same function as other people's. Li Feifei shook his head mockingly. Although Feifei Li is a little arrogant, she is actually very kind. Generally speaking. If the blind date really doesn't work that way, it won't work either. She doesn't talk too much. Anyway, just find a suitable reason to push it away. For example, if the other party likes spicy food, she will reject it on the grounds that she does not like spicy food. For example, if the other party doesn't like spicy food, she will refuse on the grounds that she does not like spicy food every time. It's easy to reject people anyway. She usually saves a little face for each other. But Yi Feng's operation is too showy. So, Feifei Li had no way not to despise him. Chapter 318 _ Let me tell you a big secret. It's not really a shame to have no car or house. When I go on a blind date, although I often use various reasons to reject others, I don't particularly care about the other person's material possessions. Because I have all the things you don't have, and all I'm looking for is an honest and reliable person. Feifei Li said with a disappointed look in his eyes. To be frank, the reason why Feifei Li is willing to follow Yi Feng's process is entirely because Yi Feng is a super handsome guy. But a dishonest person is not handsome either. Honest and reliable, then you have found the right person. I am the most honest person. Yi Feng suddenly became energetic when he heard this, but then he sighed and said, but I often tell my secrets. But others never believe me, can you understand my troubles? Over the years, Yi Feng had told countless people that he was hanging on the wall. But no one would believe him. They insisted that he was someone with extraordinary talent, amazing skeleton, and a genius. And they also say that he is hardworking, positive, tireless, and persevering. You say what can someone do at night? Oh, what did you say? Feifei Li finally raised a little bit of curiosity. What kind of secret can no one believe? No way. Women are cats. Full of curiosity that can stifle them. For example, if I told you now that I have the power of God, would you believe it? Yifeng looked expectantly into Li Feifei's eyes and asked sincerely. He seemed to be saying, I wouldn't tell her a truth as big as this. But Feifei Li turned a Byakugan towards Yifeng. As if to say, are you a god? I think you are almost insane. Hey, you can understand me now, right? No one will believe the truth I say. Yifeng shook his head in frustration. To this, Feifei Li said, do you think I'm a fool? Do you really think that beautiful women are all silly and sweet? Feifei Li shook her head in disappointment again. She might be able to accept a dead fat man who doesn't seek to make progress to pursue her. But never accept a person who likes to brag about the mentally retarded. This kind of person has no value even for ordinary friends. Okay, I think about the process, we are probably almost there. Can we now summarize the conclusion after the fact? Li Feifei said. So, you still don't believe I'm a god, do you? Yifeng hesitated for a moment. It seems to be trying to save this awkward chat. Nonsense. If you are a god, I can be a neodymium for you. Feifei Li stood up in disappointment. She obviously planned to leave directly. But Yifeng suddenly lit up. Neodymium Park. Fim. Can be operated. Then a stream of light flashed in Yifeng's eyes. A warm chakra instantly enveloped Li Feifei. Subsequently, Yifeng Harishan took Li Feifei to the top of the tallest building in Juxia City. Hu tilde hu tilde hu tilde. The cool wind howled on the 600-meter high roof. Feifei Li was caught off guard and almost slipped under his feet. Fall into the arms of the night wind. Then, when she sees where she is, all of a sudden the whole person is not well. What are you doing? Although Feifei Li was very flustered. But she is an excellent and mature working woman. Calm yourself down in no time. Could it be that what she just drank was drugged by the man in front of her? Could it be that he wants to come to a fight with the Overlord? No. I must calm down. Even if it's an illusion. There must be a way to protect yourself. Feifei Li briefly thought about it. Then, she covered important parts of her body with her hands. The whole body collapsed very tight. This picture made Yifeng look up a bit. But it still matters. You should believe that I am a god now, right? Yifeng asked casually. A single thought spans thousands of mountains and rivers. This is not God. What is God? Sister God, what are you trying to do? No matter what you do to me, I warn you. I will definitely call the police afterwards. Justice is never late. When Li Feifei said the most ruthless words she thought, she suddenly regretted it. If you accidentally arouse the other party because of this sentence just now. What if he has another hot trip? So panic. Hey, it looks like you still don't know anything about the power of God. Yifeng shook his head. He decided to let Li Feifei calm down first. Then, the night wind pushed her down from an altitude of 600 meters. Ordinary people have only one response when faced with extreme danger. That is to close your eyes and yell. This cry proves that successful women in the workplace like Li Feifei are also ordinary people. Okay, stop shouting. Don't you see that everyone is looking at you? The whistling wind suddenly disappeared. Yifeng's voice suddenly sounded in Li Feifei's ears. Feifei Li opened her eyes. Look around. It was found that she was still sitting in the same position. The guests drinking coffee around were looking at her dumbfounded. But Feifei Li completely ignored the strange eyes of other people. It is indeed an illusion. But isn't the hallucination just now too real? That horrible feeling of weightlessness. The harsh wind still made her skin ache until now. Not at all fake. What the hell did you do to me just now? Feifei Li calmed down. Immediately got a mind. She quickly put away the coffee cup she had just drank. For future evidence. I didn't do anything. I just wanted to prove to you that I didn't lie to you, so I took you to the giant gorge tower for a bungee jump, and then brought you back. Nightwind shrugged. He said you should trust me now. You are so bold. You dare to do something in my coffee. I have saved the evidence. If you dare to do it, I will call you a slap in the throat. Feifei Li has completely calmed down now. Her years of professional life have cultivated her steely spirit. Panic. Exist. But not forever. Just like she is now. Then, well, it looks like we'll have to do it again. Nightwind shrugged. This time the arrangement is a demonic illusion into the soul. Demonic illusion in the Hokage world works by disrupting the chakra within the opponent's body. Ordinary people do not have chakra in their bodies. However, when the ninja casts demonic illusion, he can use demonic illusion to mobilize the cell energy and spiritual energy in the opponent's body, and temporarily combine to generate a part of chakra, so as to achieve the effect of demonic illusion. This is also why people who are hit by demonic illusion tend to collapse. After all, a lot of energy is consumed. Chapter 319 _ What do you want? This time. Nightwind let Li Feifei experience the 468-meter-high Tianhe Pearl building. Obviously. They play very stingy. Can be clearly distinguished from Li Feifei's cry. What the hell did you do? Haven't I woken up already? How can I still have hallucinations? Feifei Li began to gasp heavily. She is clearly awake. And not continuing to drink anything. Why is she still being recruited? This unscientific. The principle is actually very simple. When you think you are on the second floor, you may already be on the third floor. Yi Feng's voice fell. Throughout the month, Buck's cafe suddenly disintegrated and shattered like building blocks. Then, Li Feifei stared at her dumbfounded eyes, looking at the scenery around the two of them, from a coffee shop to a pink Yuhi-colored hotel room. Center of the room. Chuang in pink Yuhi color. Atmosphere is very warm. And Yi Feng was sitting on the Chuang at this time. White Fang showing a mouthful. Li Feifei with his sincere eyes. What the hell did you do to me? I admit that you are handsome. Even if something happens to us, I won't be at a loss. But can you stop beating me like this? Feifei Li knelt down on the ground with a soft heel. There was despair in his eyes. It's completely out of consideration for those who walk away or not. Then, Pink Yuhi's room changed like a building block again. The environment around Feifei Li has changed back to the Moon Barker Cafe just now. And Yi Feng was sitting silently across from her drinking coffee mixed with alcohol. He looked at Li Feifei and said lightly, "So, do you believe what I said now?" Yi Feng actually wanted to say, "You are not too bad, you are making a lot of money, you know. After all, my ability in a certain area has been upgraded to ultimate. You will understand later." The devil, I believe you. Please let me go back to the first floor. Li Feifei's eyes were moist. Tears fell down. Pear blossoms with rain. Very eye-catching. But Nightwind believes. Feifei Li must have believed his truth. That's why she was so moved. Check it out. I knight someone is such an honest person. ... After a brief silence, Yi Feng smiled. Snapped his fingers. Then, he used Horaitian to take Li Feifei to the back of his luxury car parked on the -3 floor. Look, I'm not lying, I do have a car too. Nightwind shrugged. Probably because of concerns that there isn't enough room in the car. Squeeze them. So Yi Feng also thoughtfully put the rear seats down. Who the hell are you? Feifei Li is really starting to panic now. Empty 3 underground floors. Spacious luxury car back. Handsome orphan. This is obviously going to do something. Don't be afraid, I'm actually an instructor at the Homeland Strategic Defense Attack and Logistics Support Bureau, and there is an official certification here. Yi Feng said and took out his credentials. Want to prove that he really is not a bad person. But Feifei Li didn't even look at it. Acrobatics like the one just now can be performed so realistically. Do you think I'll believe the documents you brought out? Do you really think I'm stupid? Tell me, what do you want to? Feifei Li was completely stunned. She also didn't know whether it was Zhuangzhou Mendi or Dai Meng Zhuangzhou. Could it be that she really couldn't escape Yi Feng's brain hole? Actually, you really don't have to worry. I just wanted to prove to you that I am an honest person, and I have no malicious intentions at all. Yi Feng once again showed his self-confessed sincerity, but in fact it was a bit penetrating smile. You, honest person, stop talking, what do you want to say, hurry up. Li Feifei had given up struggling. Deep down in her heart, she only hoped that Yi Feng would hurry up and forget it. Then, it would be good if they had nothing to do with each other. This. Yi Feng touched his nose. If it weren't for Yi Feng, he was also equipped with a dash cam specially installed by Dukao. He might have already satisfied Li Feifei's unreasonable request. Actually, I don't mean anything else. Shangbing Company, you know. Yi Feng finally returned to the theme. So what if you know, what if you don't know? Do you still want to play cosplayer? Don't be so shy, Li Feifei said weakly. I am the instructor of the Shangbing Company, the one who chopped down the gluttonous ship with a knife a few days ago, and then fought with that angel in Tianhe City. Yi Feng was actually curious. Although the videos and photos of that day were basically taken off the shelves by Dukao. But it can't be leaking at all, can it? Isn't our handsome face one that can't be forgotten at a glance? Did no one take a picture of the front? Can't it? You, instructor of the Shangbing Company. That man like a god. Feifei Li finally came back to her senses. Of course she knew about the two events Yi Feng mentioned. But Feifei Li is a workaholic. Every day I try my best to be an excellent worker. So, Feifei Li usually doesn't shake her hands to watch those messy little videos. She just read some relevant text reports. 8 trigrams that my colleagues talked about behind the scenes. I have never seen Yi Feng's true face. Yeah, that's why I say I'm a god. Yi Feng shook his head. I've acted like a tiger. As a result, people still didn't fully believe him. Is it so difficult to build trust these days? Then, why are you tossing me? Li Feifei's face was full of bullshit. Although she had read Yi Feng's report, she also longed for a male god like Yi Feng. But is the male god tossing her like this? What kind of fun is this? Actually, you're not a mortal, just like the soldiers of the Shangbing Company, you also have super genes in your body. I came to you this time to bring you back to the Shangbing Company to report. Yi Feng is true this time said honestly. Ah, me, super soldier, are you serious? Are you sure you don't want to play cosplayer? Li Feifei's mouth opened wide, as if she was stunned by Yi Feng's remarks. That's right. A good girl like you is like a firefly in the dark night, bright and outstanding. So I ask you. If now Guojia gives you a chance to save the world, are you willing to accept it? Yi Feng said with a sincere smile. I would like to. Feifei Li heard the adjective in Yi Feng's mouth. Cheek Yuhi up. And then, under the comfort of the night wind, Feifei Li's mental state finally returned to normal. After a while, the two finally got out of the car. Chapter 320_Meat Bar. Li Feifei walked out of the car shyly. No way. After all, she just wrongly blamed Yi Feng. Somewhat ashamed. It's like some people who can see the car coming from the normal text at every turn. Self-reflection is required. Then, Feifei Li walked to the front of the car and looked in the rearview mirror to sort out her crying makeup. I tidied up my clothes again. Then he looked at Yi Feng weakly and asked, Instructor Yi. Then, when will I report to the super seminary you mentioned? Although fighting aliens can be very dangerous. But if you can become a superpower like the Shangbing Company, Feifei Li is still looking forward to it. Don't worry, there are a few fighters at the same time as you can find them with me first, I have to bring you all back. Yifeng touched his chin. The unparalleled sword Heim Li Feifei has already done it. Then next. Yifeng is going to find Rui Mengmeng. 12:30 in the middle of the night. Yifeng and Li Feifei came to the door of a bar. Instructor Knight, invite me to the bar in the middle of the night. What do you want to do? Feifei Li looked at Yifeng with complicated eyes. Night Wind is handsome. Strength is also very strong. Feifei Li admired him very much from the bottom of her heart. But ask her to a bar in the middle of the night. Should I do something? Didn't I tell you that I'm going to take you to find other soldiers? Yifeng pouted at the bar and said, her name is Rui Mengmeng, 21 years old, and her hometown is Rujia Village, Ping County, Juxia City. Will come here to work at night. Quote. Rui Mengmeng is a child from a poor family. Living conditions are not particularly good. But her character is very cheerful and she is not defeated by the difficulties in life. So, in order to give her a better future, Rui Mengmeng works all kinds of jobs day and night almost every day to make money. It doesn't seem to be very noisy here. And there is no drug check. Is this really a bar? Don't look at Li Feifei, people are very young. Also make a lot of money. But she had never been to a place like a bar. Just watched it on TV. This is a clear one, it's not what you think. Yifeng shook his head, looked at Feifei Li and said, have you never been in a bar? A young girl. I don't know how to live a free life, but I tie myself to work and study all day long. A lot of wonderful life cannot be experienced. Is this really good? Once you reach middle age. Only then did I realize that I wanted to experience a lot of things, but it was past the age of experience. Then it will be too late to regret it. Then, Yifeng took Li Feifei into the bar. Opened a small room. Just ordered some small snacks and drinks that are almost 10 times higher than the price outside. Hear the song. Did you see that girl over there? She is Rui Mengmeng. Her genetic code is Nuoxing Jiandao, and she is a female warrior just like you. Yifeng pointed to the girl who was selling wine everywhere and said. She's really cute and pretty, but is it really okay for her to work in a place like this? Li Feifei shook her head. Although the bar is not as complicated as Li Feifei imagined. But, in this drinking place, pretty little girls will inevitably suffer. After all, there is no distinction between wine and color. It's not easy for anyone to be born. If she has the opportunity to make money by blowing the air conditioner in the office like you and tapping on the computer, she will not come here to sell wine. Yifeng looked at it disapprovingly. Gave Li Feifei a look. Many times people don't have many choices. Otherwise, who doesn't want to live a comfortable life? But my glamorous work didn't fall from the sky. Li Feifei said in dissatisfaction. Don't look at how bright she is now. But that was the result she had accumulated with a little bit of hard work when she was studying. After all, when other students are reading some street novels, Feifei Li is burying her head in her studies. Of course it will succeed. Then you were wrong. Judging from the final result, although Rui Mengmeng has no chance to learn, she can still become a goddess in the future. Yifeng smiled. Born to be human. Many things are unclear. Some people end up succeeding through hard work. But there are also people who try very hard and end up miserably. On the contrary, it is not as free and easy as those students who have been playing when they were in school. So, time is also life. Providence may be the most important factor. Dang dang. There was a knock on the door. Rui Mengmeng came in from the outside with a box of foreign wine. Beautiful guy and pretty girl, this is a new wine that our bar has just introduced recently. It's imported from far and beautiful Scotland. Would you two like to try it? Rui Mengmeng smiled and looked at Yifeng and Li Feifei. Skilled in promoting today's hot products. Scotland. Yifeng smiled at Rui Mengmeng and said, don't bring things like this barbarian product. Is there any Qingshan beer? That's my favorite drink. Yes, I'll get it for you. Rui Mengmeng smiled awkwardly but politely. Although selling Qingshan beer will make a lot less money. But as long as the customer likes it, she also won't try to force others. This is the most basic professional quality. About 10 minutes passed. Rui Mengmeng really came back with a box of Qingshan beer. 2 bosses, the beer you want has arrived, and the total is 1,000 yuan. Rui Mengmeng smiled. By the way, I suddenly don't want to drink Qingshan beer anymore. Do you have any snowflakes here? The degree of snowflakes is low, and it is known as a cowardice, and it will not go up when you drink it. Yifeng leaned on the back of the chair and said casually. Also. Then I'll go and change it for you. Then Rui Mengmeng ran out again carrying this case of beer. Generally speaking, sales can be very frustrating when they encounter such tricky customers. But Rui Mengmeng did not affect her mood at all because of Yifeng's making things difficult. It can be seen that she is a girl full of positive energy. See this scene. Feifei Li suddenly showed a sudden realization, and asked solemnly. Instructor Yi, is the purpose of tossing her like this to test her patience? You want to express that you can only be qualified to be a superpower if you can accept others' difficulties with ease, right? Yifeng was slightly taken aback. Subsequently, he touched his nose and said, if you think so, it's not impossible. But I just suddenly realized that the money is not enough. No way. Yifeng is not bad for money though. But he's been splurging a little too casually lately. So, inventory in the warehouse is depleted. This made Yifeng a little nostalgic for that era when money could never be spent.